funny. I was just fishing Webster Lake Chargagagog, Manchagagog, Chapanagungumog. That's how you say it, I think. That's the best I can come up with. But there was a house that had the name right across it. Anyway, talk to you guys later. We'll see ya.
Guys, welcome to another episode of Jigs and Friggin' Bigs. Listen, guys, this week's show might actually be a subtle cry for help, as I'm currently experiencing the best multi-species month of fishing in my life. All while, of course, I'm fishing in multiple bass-focused tournaments more than ever. It's fine, though.
Everything is fine.
Thankfully, American Vet Fishing, a.k.a. Joe Brown, is holding it down for Team Big Jig Energy. And this week sees the first results from last Saturday's online national slot limit tournament. It was an awesome event, and Binya has all the details about it. Plus, this is the whole idea of the spawn actually just a big old lie? We're going to break that statement down for you and talk a little bit more about it. Guys, don't go too far. We got more Jigs and Bigs goodness lined up for you right after this. Genuinely mean this when I say I have had the most intense multi-species fishing month in like recent memory. I'm telling you, that is the God's honest truth. I did the math, and before today's outing, I've caught 7 bass this month.
7 bass.
I've caught like 30-something fish. What the fuck is wrong with me? And of course, I'm having this conversation, Joe, with none other than Sean the fisherman. He's like, oh, that's weird. I've caught 99. And I'm just like, you know what?
You know what, man?
Nobody needs to hear that kind of shit. Nobody needs that negativity, Sean. But no, the reason why Sean and I were talking, he had some really, really nice things to say about this tournament series, the team tournament. He's like, you guys did a really good job with this one. And I explained some of like what's on the docket as we get into next year, as far as different regions and stuff. Things are good, man. But let's go ahead and get everybody caught up with a little bit of housekeeping before we dive into this show. Joe, I am excited to see, because you have been spending money like it's fucking made of air. And we got to talk about that, dude. But for those of you that aren't familiar with what the hell this program is that you're listening to, folks, my name is Bobby Roast Beef. I'm the host of Jigs and Bigs. It's your weekly fishing podcast. I'm joined by the one and only American Vet Fishing, a.k.a.
Who the fuck is Joe Brown?
And Joe Brown is a guy who can catch the black bass species far more regularly than your boy Bobby Roast Beef can, but it is what it is. We put on a weekly fishing show where we're all about that fishing community. We're talking sharing fishing stories, interviewing folks that are really innovating new stuff that's out in the market, just learning about all types of different fishing from all different corners of the globe is really what it's all about here. And we kind of give everybody a little bit of a podium regardless of where they are on their journey. As long as they're on that journey, they're one of the club, you know. Speaking of club, you might hear us reference some folks in the wings here as we record this show. Those are the jig heads. Our jig heads are the Patreon subscribers. They I don't know how, but somehow they have been bullied into throwing down 5 of their own hard-earned dollars a month to help support the show and get some access to some cool stuff and get to be part of the show early. And in fact, on Mondays, traditionally, I've been doing a live show exclusive for the patrons, usually on Monday mornings, and it's a lot of fun because the show normally is done and edited and everything, and it gives me an opportunity to like give them a little bit of behind the scenes info, stuff like that. tomorrow's live show is going to be messy. I'm just letting you guys know it is. It's also going to be a bit different too because I will not be on the road like I normally am. I'm probably going to be doing this live show from here because I think my oldest daughter is going to do me a solid and bring her sister to school, which would be fantastic. If you like what we're doing here on this show, you want to be more involved with it, you can obviously listen to us each and every week. We drop a brand new episode. It's on every major podcast platform out there. Wherever you like to get your podcast content, we got you. But as always, we do ask if you enjoy what you're listening to here, and if you have the ability to rate and review on whatever platform you're listening, please do it. It's really a big deal with Apple Podcasts, but also on Spotify. You can give us a rating over there too. Very, very helpful. I got some information about Apple Podcasts too, by the way, coming up. I feel like Apple Podcasts has done us dirty a couple of times this year, and I might have to throw them in the old FTG compartment. While we're talking about FTG, it's a regular weekly segment that's on the show. Anglers can air grievances, and the FTG, if you haven't picked up, stands for
Fuck that guy.
You can call us or text us on the hotline, and that number is 413-324-8519. You can submit a submission for FTG. You can submit something for the live well. You'll hear all about that later. It's kind of like our little mailbag segment. We kind of engage with the listeners, and it's actually kind of become my favorite thing, like ever. I look forward to the live well each and every week, so it's pretty awesome. And if you really love the show, you can also check out jigsandbigs.com. That's where like ground zero for like all of the stuff you need to know for the Jigs and Bigs-averse. You know, you need to get some performance apparel. You need to get some sunglasses. We have discount codes for our partners all over the place. You can check all that stuff out right there. We also have show merch. If you want to go and represent some Jigs and Bigs logo attire, you can check all that stuff out, jigsandbigs.com. And we have, because, you know, I mean, Big Jig Energy is the name of the team for Jigs and Bigs. We do have merch available. We even have hats for dogs, man. I'm just saying, get a hat for your dog. Do the right thing. Do the right fucking thing. Anyway, feel free. Go ahead and put that number in your phone. Call us, text us over there. The hotline, 413-324-8519. It's your best place to reach out, ask questions, and make some submissions for the show. Trust me, as we get through this show, you're going to get more and more of that. Joe, now that we've gotten all that out of the way, my friend, how the hell have you been this week?
Good, man. Got some fishing in, which I can never complain about.
That's
Caught
awesome.
some fish. Then the weather changed, and then I didn't catch some fish. So we were like in that perfect weather pattern, and then all of a sudden it completely changed on us, and the fish just shut right the hell off. It was terrible.
Really?
We we were kind of in that. We were in that almost like pre-spawned, water temps.
We're
that
so
like
close.
60s water temp.
Yeah.
And then, that cold front came in and hit us, Bobby. And it just, the water temp went down 10, 12 degrees or more. And then the fish just started acting like winter fish again all of a sudden. Didn't want to bite anything. But, yeah, man. So that first, the first couple times out, I was able to get, catch some fish. I think I culled one out, and then you were able to get that one out today, and then or something like that. And in that we culled a couple fish this week. But dude, it was a lot of. It's been a lot of jerkbait fishing for me. A ton of jerkbait fishing for me. In and around structure, in and around docks. Just that's kind of been the juice for me. Smallies, largemouth were biting for me. My local haunt that you guys all know.
Oh yeah.
I ended up going out to. What's that?
It's been paying off though for you.
Yeah, it has. I mean, the problem is like, yeah, we can catch those 15, 16 inches, but like those are like. That's like the biggest you really like routinely can get in there. So that's why it's like, should I go somewhere else? And I went out to Western Mass last week. We already talked about that, but this week I stayed local. Caught him again one of the days. Again, it was jerkbait and drop shot. Actually, speaking of it, I don't know if you guys could see this. This is the fish or die anomaly right here, right? This one has caught me probably 10, 12 fish so far.
Oh,
and
really?
I finally had to retire it. It was just getting so banged up. But this kind of show you, kind of how these things hold up. It's nice that you get 3 in the pack, but they just hold up phenomenally. Speaking of which, Taylor has just been absolutely swamped with orders. I did an order through him for the anomalies, Bobby.
Yep.
I've had them for about 4 days, and they're pretty almost sold out.
Yeah.
Dude, we got that exclusive color and stuff, and he's got Tackle Warehouse orders. He's coming out with the bigger one. They've already ordered a shit ton of those. So he's just like in over his head. But no, dude. So back to the fishing. I was running some docks a little bit. So what happened was I was running those jerk baits, and then I was like, you know what? I was like, let me slow down. I think we talked about it last show. These ones I'm catching are still kind of not the quality I'm really looking for. They're chasing, but I feel like there's probably bigger ones sitting up shallow or just off shallow that aren't chasing yet. So I was like, all right, let's slow it down. Let's hit that first ledge off the points and stuff like that, and let's see what we can get. I had that plan, and that's when the weather absolutely
when it took a shit on you.
Decimated us. I couldn't get, dude, what was it, yesterday? Yesterday I went out. I couldn't get a bite to save my life outside of crappie and one 13-incher that I actually just kind of foul hooked him. It was like he was trying to run away from it, but I got him anyway. Dude, I mean, I was on that place that we talked about that I have that one spot on there.
Oh yeah.
And dude, I couldn't even get anything off that. It was just all crappie. I knew there was bass sitting in with those crappie. I could see them, but they just were not touching anything. I mean, the crappie were still fired up, but those bass were just so lethargic. Dude, I tried everything. I was dead sticking drop shots. I was dead sticking Neds. I was dead sticking all of it. And there's a tournament going on there as well. So I didn't want to spend too much time on that spot because I didn't want to blow it up for other people to go over there. But dude, I tried so I kept running into other boats. I was like, you know what? Screw this. I'll go to my usual spot.
Yeah.
We were texting a little bit. So I packed her up, headed down the street to that other spot. I was like, all right, here we go. I was like, I'll be able to get onto some here no matter what. At least maybe I'll at least grab one that'll cull something out.
Yeah, that's
in the tournament. Hope. And dude, couldn't catch a fish to save my life. Tried the tactics that I had been doing, nothing. So I was like, all right, let's slow it down. Let's kind of move back a little bit more. And what was so frustrating is I had my live scope dialed in real well yesterday. And I tried everything, Bobby, from Ned rigs to super slow jerkbait to drop shot to Demiki. And what was pissing me off, dude, is they were back like belly down on the bottom. Because I was running that Demiki about 3 feet off, and they would come up, dude. I saw them come up
and they just
follow it.
Yeah.
And then just kind of go right back to dude. I was like, fuck. So that's why I'm like running the drop shot. Dude, they just would not bite anything.
They get moody, man. Sometimes
they got so moody yesterday for me. Unfortunately, I didn't get to go out today. I promised I would do yard work and stuff.
Yep.
So
fair.
Yeah, I had to do it, dude. I've been neglecting it the last couple of years. So taught Jeremiah how to run a chainsaw. That was fun. It was a battery powered one, guys. Fucking relax. Like before anyone says anything, I haven't let him touch the gas steel yet. Okay. So had to trim some trees. Had to trim some trees along the driveway for the new toy coming in. But
yeah.
So we did that.
Quite a few trees, I'm sure.
Yeah, dude. That's pretty much my fishing week. Man, I'm trying. Oh, guess who I saw in the water yesterday? Excuse me. The one and only.
Was it Jay Manning?
Jay Manning.
Jay Manning. Okay, nice. And
I saw him yesterday.
I'll bet you
he wants it.
You guys met up on that body of water. That one of your
so crazy, dude. Yeah, and
it's like the local Dunkin' Donuts for boat owners is what that pond is.
Really is. Dealt with some. Oh God, guess what I dealt with yesterday already? Lake lice.
Oh my God, I'm so glad you brought that up. I forgot. Remember when I was on that pond? Like this is a week before it was. So this is the week before the slot. When that Saturday when I was out, I was getting blown all over the place. The wind was crazy, dude. There was a jackass on a jet ski with a kid. They weren't wearing like wetsuits or anything. They were wearing like shorts and t-shirts, and like we were bundled up. Like I had my bibs on and a hoodie, and like it was like 50 degree water maybe, and there was like 12-mile-an-hour winds. I was like, holy shit. And this is the craziest thing. We decided to change spots and go to a different spot because we're like, we're just catching off species here. Let's go elsewhere. We go to load up. There's a car there, and no, I take that back. There is a trailer there for the jet ski with no other vehicle. Like, did they walk it down? I don't get it. I don't get it. So yeah, lake lice for you.
Yep. Non-American speaking too. So it's just like, because I go to pull in, dude. They're running around. I go to pull in, and you know that spot I'm at. They had one on each side of parked like this sideways on each side of the ramp. So I'm like, are we for real right now?
Yeah, like what the fuck's actually happening here?
You know, just like in the woods, like doing whatever. Probably cranking fucking coke or something. But so they finally do. Oh my God, I actually did it on my Meta glasses, so I gotta upload that. Dude, watching this guy try to back this trailer in was the most painful thing, dude. It was like that episode of Family Guy with Peter Griffin trying to back down the boat and then ends up just pulling it in.
Oh my God. Yep.
It was like that. I was just like, I almost walked like it was because I had to go to a family thing yesterday evening, and and I always cut it close because I wanted to keep fishing.
Of course.
So I'm like, I almost got off the boat to lift up, dude. I just to lift up this little ass trailer and like put it straight for this guy. Just be like, just go straight. So they finally get one on as I'm waiting. The guy goes up, the guy like goes down as he's parking, the guy like goes to grab the other one. I fucking hurry up, I beached the boat, hopped up, grabbed a truck and friggin' cut him off onto the ramp so I can get my boat out. But yeah, so that was that. That was kind of fishing for me. It was when I was catching them, it was jerk bait and, screwing around with some drop shots. And then, like I said, dude, it just totally shut off on me. Just totally shut off. Hopefully. And dude, the weather's not looking much better.
No, it's we're going to get like it's I was looking at the forecast over here. This is earlier this morning when I looked. Thursday's like an inch of rain, like all day. Starts overnight Wednesday. All through Thursday, it's going to be so much fucking rain. That water's going to be dirty.
Sucks. I'm supposed to fly out Thursday.
Oh, that's your. Well, I don't know, man. Might be a good day to be in the airport and just fucking suck it up and do it.
So
you got to tell that.
In other
story.
news,
yeah.
In other news. So we talked about the Camping World experience and the camper and the trailer and the truck. Well, I may have done a thing, Bobby.
Yeah, you did.
It wasn't so much my doing as like Meg actually was the one who brought it up. So come to find out, she had like been apprehensive about buying the fifth wheel trailer because she thought it would be more conducive to us and the family if we had like a motorhome, like an RV, like the drivable ones.
Yep. I agree.
Yeah. So, because we are so like, what's that word? We do everything on a whim. Yeah, we bought a big ass RV the other day.
Giant.
Yeah. So we bought a giant RV motorhome. It's a Nexus. It's a Nexus Wraith 35F. So it's got the bugs in it and stuff, but it's basically on like a Freightliner, like tractor trailer body. Impulsive. That's the word I was looking for.
The jigheads are just going through the thesaurus. Spontaneous, impulsive.
Yeah, we're wicked impulsive. So here's the kind of downfall about it, Bobby. That bitch is in Fort Myers, Florida.
Oh, they could be worse.
So we gotta fly down next week. Mm-hmm. We gotta fly down next week, pick her up, and drive her back home. I've never driven anything this big. It's fucking huge. Like it's on like a tractor trailer, like chassis, like cab. Yeah. And it's 37 feet long, 37 feet long. So I'm just gonna fucking let it rip, dude, on my regular standard license, because that's how those RVs work somehow.
You'll be fine, man. You will be absolutely fine. Like that thing, was it like a 2024?
Yeah, it's a 2024. We got a good deal on it. It's a 2024. Only has 3,000 miles on it. Some old guy just bought it with his fuck you money and was just like, I don't know if I want this anymore. Yeah. So it's just legit brand new.
That's great though, man, because now you've got this drive to like put it through some paces, you know. Who's going with you? Are you going solo?
Meg and I's going.
Oh, you're both going? Nice. Good.
Fuck, she's coming. This one was her idea. She's coming. And she's gonna drive it too. She doesn't know that yet.
Oh no, definitely she should be driving it.
I ain't driving this thing alone.
Well, if you guys are doing a trip and you're gonna take a boat, you're gonna and actually, you know what the thing is that now it'll be way smarter to drag the tow vehicle with the boat separately, because if you go somewhere, let's say you're setting up camp for like 2 weeks at like one destination, you don't want to drive the camper everywhere.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Yep. Like you don't want to do that. So like, why rent a car?
Yeah. So we figured we'd probably like rent a truck or something if I'm bringing the boat somewhere or whatever. Like, so we're doing it. So we're grabbing it. We already booked a site for St. Lawrence River for the content week with Fish or Die.
Oh, that's awesome.
Right on the river, by the way. Hey, like,
are you
the
at
site is
Keewaydin?
Huh? No, it's in it's right in between Alexandria Bay and Clayton.
Oh, okay. All right.
Yeah. So
that's
Swan
great.
Bay is what it's called. Swan Bay Resort.
It's a private resort. Oh,
yeah, dude. It was cheap money. It was like fucking $500 for the week.
Yeah.
Right on the water.
Yeah.
And I have a slip for the boat.
You have a slip there?
With power.
Holy shit.
Yeah, dude. So Taylor's gonna when I pull in, I'm gonna drop the boat, and Taylor's gonna come and splash it with his truck, or I might just splash it with the RV before we get into the, you know what I mean. So, yeah. So I'm just gonna splash it, dude. I'm right there by the dock.
Yeah.
So I literally just wake up, walk onto the boat, and go. So.
Dude, that is so nice. Like when you have a slip for your boat and you're like sending it, it's just Cayuga was like that when we went. We were like, the guy was like, we happened to be there in October. It was slow. And he's like, you can take any slip you want. And there was one that was right next to the cottage, the one we almost blew up the Canadian koala in.
Yep.
And dude, it was just so nice, like getting up early that morning and like just walking out, not having to launch the boat. Everything was there and ready. Just get in the boat and go. That's awesome, dude. That is freaking sweet.
Yep.
Damn, dude. Well, congrats.
Yeah, I appreciate it, man. We're excited. Kids are excited. It's fucking expensive.
Yeah.
But it's memories, man. It's we're excited. We're excited to just travel this summer. We're already talking a couple trips. Yeah. Probably gonna bring it down to ICAST. I'll probably just drive that bitch down to ICAST.
Definitely.
And then
Definitely.
Yeah, with the family, whoever we have. Dude, we might even drive it down to our Outer Banks trip and just park it in the parking lot or the driveway of the house that we have.
Why not? Well, actually, and you know what, man? I was thinking about it because Shannon and I were doing a little bit of talking back and forth about like getting the ball moving for the classic and like lodging and stuff.
Yeah. Yep.
My biggest fear, and I mentioned this, I was like, I know we have a lot of people in our ear right now that are like, oh,
dude, you guys are doing this trip. I'd love to go, man. Let's.
Yeah.
The reality of it is, and I love you guys, but most of you are not going to commit to it. Like, it's just, you know what I mean? Right. So the idea of like, oh, let's get a couple of different properties. You know what's nice? We just guarantee that we have a spot where you guys can park that. And then that's less, you know what I mean? That's more wiggle room.
Yep.
You know?
Yep.
Plus
no, I agree, dude.
Space.
Actually, you know what I'm fucking doing after this? I'm starting a group chat on the iMessage between you, me, and him because I'm so bad at checking Instagram.
Yeah, Instagram is I am in many group chats right now on Instagram, and I see where people are like, "This is overwhelming."
Yeah, because I get so many like of spam or just like random people, and it's just like so it always getting lost in the sauce. So
yeah, I think that's a great idea. Yeah,
text message. I'm not the best, but I'm much better at.
Yeah, it's easier to catch up to because it's like right on your device. No, I hear you.
Yeah, because I have my notifications shut off from Instagram because my phone wouldn't stop if I had them on.
Constant.
But yeah, dude. So the big reason why we did this was number one, Meg didn't like the idea of having the kids squished in the backseat of the truck, plus like figuring out the dogs and stuff. Outside of that, Eli, the iCast trip is that one's just me. That's with Fish or Die. That one's already all set up. But yeah, so dude, it's got like the dinette, it's got like a bunch of recliner chairs. You can watch TV as I'm driving. You can go to the bathroom while I'm driving. She could set up at the dinette because it has internet and shit as you're going. And she could just work. So she was stressed out about the dogs have plenty of room in there to fucking do their thing.
Just, it's full function. That's the whole deal. The only thing, that does make it much, much easier. I'm telling you, dude, like you're probably going to get in it and be like, this is the most comfortable riding vehicle I've ever driven. Cause like, those are intended to go like ridiculous amounts of miles at a time. So like you probably have a seat similar to like what a trucker would use, long haul.
Yep. Yeah, it's got the air ride seats and shit. Now that it already has the air tank, you know what I'm doing, right? I'm putting a fucking train horn in that bitch.
Oh, yes, dude.
Meg doesn't know it yet.
Dude,
I'm putting a fucking train horn.
I thought the classic was going to turn into like a fish show because I thought you were going to say like, we're throwing nitrous in that bitch, baby.
Yeah. It's funny. It's actually got a very similar motor to my truck.
Oh, I'll bet you it does.
It's got the Cummins with the Allison trans. But dude, it's one of those. It's one of the. Well, it's not the sim, but it's a more of a tractor trailer.
Yeah.
But it's a million mile motor, dude. It's got 3,000 miles on it.
That's what I'm saying, dude. And
it's got a.
You'll put miles on that vehicle like in big chunks at a time, but it's that daily driver shit that fucks your cars up.
100%.
Totally. And it's like, believe me, dude, there's a part of me that's like considering like, I'm just over 124K on my truck. Mm-hmm. I'm like, I would be okay with like just getting a small van to like do trivia with and just use my 4Runner for fun shit. I'd have that thing. That would be the last new vehicle I'd buy.
Yep.
That'd be it. But
yeah, it's 36 feet. 36.
It's big.
It's a Nexus Wraith 35F. But yeah, dude, it's got an onboard generator
that F is
that pulls baby. It's a diesel generator, so it pulls right from the fuel tank of the truck.
Oh, dude, that's sick.
Yeah, it's got solar. It's got, like I said, it's got
probably a dual battery rig.
Yep. Yep. It's awesome, and we're gonna stick the Motion Starlink
satellite
on there probably. So we'll do that. And yeah, dude, we're pumped. I'm so excited.
Let's be honest. This is the AVF Tackle Tour Bus is what this is.
I'm going to put it right on that.
You're going
right
to
on
ram that fucker. Absolutely. It'll look slick, too.
AVF Tackle Tour Bus with a big set of titties on the side of it.
Fucking A, Tour Bus titties.
Big set of big old bitties. Tig old bitties. And guns. And we'll have guns.
Tell you, Bobby Roast Beef has gun fever, dude.
You remind me of Frank from fucking.
Yes. So I come out there.
Take my gun.
And I'm blasting.
Yeah, so we're pumped, dude. We're pumped. So our appointment is for Friday at noontime down in Fort Myers. I think I'm going to try to bump it to Thursday, so I have a little bit more time to get home.
Yeah.
Just so I don't have to do like 12 hours a fucking day if I don't want to.
Dude, you know what you need to do? You need to take your GoPros, make this a fucking vlog.
Yeah, we are.
This a video.
So funny. Meg's like, I don't care what you say. You're bringing your cameras. We're doing this.
And
I'm
then,
like, all right.
and then go like just send like a list of highlights, and I'll create a song, right? And you can just edit it like a fucking music video, dude. We stopped here, fucking near the 50 cal mounted on top of the camper. Shot.
I'm gonna stop at the beach somewhere and try to get a couple chicks to like lean up against it and like shake their ass.
There you go.
I can take a quick clip of that. Meg will be fine with it, dude.
Totally
Meg will be fine with it.
Totally fine. In fact, you might want to have Meg ask.
Yeah, right. I'm just gonna have Meg do it.
Yeah, there you go.
And I'll be on the backside like Bobby would have fucking. Never mind. I can't say that.
Yeah,
but yeah, dude, we're pumped. That's it. That's been my week. Like super impulsive.
That's awesome though, man.
Spontaneous, whatever all the synonyms are.
That's badass though. I'm stoked for you. I think that's gonna be badass. And like when you were like, I bought something, I was like, what kind of fucking megabass rods did he pick up? I thought it was like that. And then you sent me the picture of the camper. I was like,
shut the fuck up.
I was like, it's game on again. But it makes perfect sense because, if you're bringing the entire family, like now the drive is only taxing for the driver.
Yep.
That's nice. And less headaches for you as well because then it's not, well, are we there yet? It's like, hey, go take a fucking nap. Or
right, exactly.
Or like, hey, go watch a movie or, such and such.
Yep. Dude, oh my God. It's, one sick fucking thing it has, dude.
What's that?
On the outside, under the awning, you open the door, you lift it up, and there's a fucking TV there.
See, that's slick.
Outside.
That's really slick. Cause dude, I'm just saying.
I'm going to make my kids watch the outside TV as we're driving. Fucking figure it out.
Hold on tight. You better be able to run. This bitch only fucking stops at 80. Oh, dude, that is fucking great, man. That is awesome. You're gonna love it. It's gonna be great.
Yeah.
And like I love the fact that you guys are getting it, you driving it back, and then you'll get a little bit of an experience with it. I mean, dude, I think you're gonna be amazed with it's a big vehicle, but like all you got to do is get comfortable with the and it's going to be rigged with mirrors and shit and camp. That's the thing. Those newer vehicles, like you'll be able to back that thing up easy anywhere.
Yeah. It's got full cameras all around it too. So that helps.
Everything you need to see, it's all going to be right there. That's awesome, dude. Good for you, man. That's freaking badass.
Mount a sidecar couch for him.
With wheels. So it's just like they all come in. You guys go to stop like and eat somewhere on the road, and all their hair is all like
yeah.
It looks like the Nike swoosh. Oh man, that's fucking fantastic, dude. Jesus. Oh well, your boy had a week. Nothing like that. I made a purchase this week, but nothing like that. I guess
still a pretty cool one.
We got to go back and review from the slot tournament series. So the slot derb went down. This was last Saturday, and I had. I was talking with Sean the fisherman, and we were talking about water temps around here. And I was like, you know what, man, I think maybe for this, I just got to go further east and find some warmer temps, like really further east. Because I didn't find the as warm of temps as I was hoping to find when I went out to Central Mass. I was like, let's go further out. Let's go. So Paul and I hit Cape Cod, and I wanted to find a body of water that was smaller, again, thinking like it'll warm up faster and maybe not so deep. So I didn't go to my regular haunt when I go to the Cape. So I picked this spot, which ironically, the last time I was there, I caught APB smallmouth. But I found like a bank where these smallies were on beds. And I was like, okay, so I know where they will bed up. So I can look around there and look for maybe off of that a little ways and see if I can track them down. Well, so Paul and I get there. Now, the last time I had fished there, I fished it in my kayak. And I just parked. I didn't pay attention to any signs or anything like that. It's a small utility trailer for my kayak. Going with my boat was a whole other beast. So I splashed Paul in and here's the thing. Every time I fish with Paul, I don't know if he does this intentionally. He never brings muck boots. So I'm like, get in the boat because I gotta splash you in with it. So there was a dock there, which is awesome. So I splash him in, but like the water seemed like it was a little bit low, but the ramp just ends and it drops off. Dude, I heard my trailer go clang. I'm like, you bitch. But it was so dirty, like I couldn't see it. In advance. Yeah. So I did inspect, but I didn't see it at all. So the boat, he takes off, he gets up there. Now, this is one of those things like at St. Lawrence where you have to park your trailer and vehicle in different areas. Oh. I hate that shit, dude. I hate that shit.
Worst, dude.
So I'm like, all right. So we're driving around with an empty trailer. Like boat is at the dock, tied off, and we're looking around for where the trailers go. There's no signage for like where trailer parking is, but we did find like what was like beach parking or something, and it was a big empty lot. I'm like, you know what, man? I'm just gonna drop it there. It'll just be this, and then we'll drive the truck back over to the parking area that's near the launch, and this way we can go back and forth. So we launch the boat, we head out there, and as we're leaving, I noticed there's like all these dudes along the bank out in the water and waders, fly fishing and shit. And then as we start to round around this one point that kind of starts that bank that I kind of wanted to follow, I see like 4 boats trolling. What the fuck is this? So we go around, and I pretty much limited out on rainbow trout while we were there within the first 2 hours. Like tournament started at 8 a.m. We were on there by 10 o'clock. I was like, all right, this is ridiculous, man. We didn't see any bass at all. And then I said to Paul, I was like, before it gets too late, dude, we need to make a decision. Do we want to change bodies of water? And this is one of the things that I am really glad that we did with the slot series is we got rid of the check-in, the in the water alarm, because this way it's like, if you want to change bodies of water, go ahead. It's a nationwide tournament. You know what I mean? Like it's more about time management at that point. Is it advisable to do that? So we go, and I'm like, this was just absolutely bullshit, man. We limit out on trout. We go and pull the boat out. I thought this was going to be a lot more difficult than it was. I with such precision lowered my trailer down just about to where that drop off was. Like it was like my wheels were like rocking on the edge, and I just locked down my parking brake, and I was like, okay, we'll see what happens. We got her all loaded up, got out of there. We headed over to spot number 2, and you and I have talked about what spot number 2 is and everything. Yeah. It's a much, much larger lake, much, much deeper lake. And I was like, it's going to be colder, but whatever. Like I spent some time over there kind of graphing it and getting an idea of like some structure that looks really good. I was like, we'll go and we'll hit it. Joe, when I tell you, we rolled out and we're only about 2 minutes away. We go by and the road to get to the launch is closed for like some kind of like maintenance or paving or whatever. So we had no access to that lake. And I'm like, fuck, out in this end of the state, I have a very limited resource of experience with bodies of fresh water that have launches that I can splash my boat at.
Right.
So I'm scrambling here. And I remember last September when Becca and I camped at the Cape, we fished one day for stripers and then the second day for smallies. And there was a spot that we fished and it was like, again, like we did great multi-species. I think she caught like a perch and a bluegill. I caught a chain pickerel. But like this, looking at what's on the map and looking at like when you're there, like some of these boulders and stuff, like it just looks like smallie paradise. And she's done well there before. So I said, let's just go and fish like based on instincts, dude. Let's just fucking send it. So we get to this spot, like we make a stop on the way, we fuel up, we get some jerky, some fucking coffee, you know, some fucking cigarettes, fucking, you know, Magnum condoms, and we're ready to go.
Yep. Everything.
And we head out to this spot. We launch the boat. There was one other boat that was out there. And I'm just like, as we leave, I'm just watching the wind. And I'm like, okay, so I go, we're going to just focus on the wind and follow those wind-blown banks until we find fish. And I ended up throwing, what did I catch them on that day? It was a minigun. With a gold blade. And, you know, because we had a good amount of wind. Like we actually had some whitecaps on this body of water. I was like, oh, all right, so this will be something. Now keep in mind, Sean the fisherman was not very far from us. And he'd put in over 500 inches at this point. It was ridiculous. And so Paul and I were like, let's just, you know, just put something on the board to kind of like, again, like my mental health has been taking an absolute beating this month. Like 8 bass, counting today. So we fish. I ended up putting in this first cove that we fished. I put two in the boat. And then we got to the end of this one point and I said, you know what, Paul, let's go do this. Let's take a run all the way up to the northern part of the pond. And then we'll fish that opposite bank, but we'll let the wind kind of push us along and we'll just hit all these points that have the wind blowing into them. That worked out, man. I got my third fish over there. We fished our way back down. I wasn't able to pick up any other fish. What the shit is that?
Did you hear that?
I did hear that. I don't know what that was, but so I picked up a third fish. These were all like in like that like 15-inch-ish kind of window, like 13 to 15 inches. And I'm like, okay, this is cool. And this is great because I didn't realize the day you were having at this point, Joe. So I was just entering in fish in the slot, which they're accounting for, but I was also entering those fish in the team tournament. And I'm like, okay, so let's see what has. Every single one that I entered got cold. And it was because you were just absolutely killing it that whole day.
I was trying.
So I'm like, all right. Because at this point we had a limit, but I was like, let's see if we can get like up a little bit higher. So instead of like a couple of 12s or whatever that were in there, let's see if we can kick those out and help it out. And you had done much better than I had. So I'm like, all right, it's all good. I go to, so that's spot 3. Thanks. Big shout out to Becca for, introducing me to this spot because it actually I texted her and I was like, I'm going back. I don't know how this is gonna go. She's like, good luck, dude. She's like, I have caught some great smallies there. She goes, hopefully it works for you. So these were all, so the last hour, and this is where things get fucking weird and heartbreaking. So the last hour, I'm like, you know what? I've said this month, or I've said that this year actually was the 300th episode. I said this year, I want to focus on throwing a glide bait every time I go out. And I've been really good with that. The slot, I did not really throw a glide bait much, but that last hour, I was like, we have another hour. I've only got 3 fish on the board. And I was like, Paul's got none. I hand him that Sniper 2 combo with that minigun on it. And I was like, take this, dude. I was like, just throw this, chuck and wind. It's your comfort zone. Like you're the spinnerbait guy, even more so than I am. So I'm like, you go ahead and start that. He's like, okay, cool. Well, he is doing his thing, and I'm throwing. This was that Spro Chad Shad 180, the perch one, the one that I got from you.
Yep.
I wish I had taps queued up because she gone.
She gone.
She gone.
She gone.
It was probably like my 12th cast. And I went to go cast this sucker. And like, I don't know if there was like a loop that got caught on my spool or something, but that fluoro snapped. And that bait just went flying. I saw exactly where it went, and I was like, Paul, I'm like, reel up fast, buddy. We got to get over there. So I put my trolling motor on high, and I start moving over there, and it was in ultimately about 10 or 11 foot of water, and it was just too dirty for me to be able to get down and see it. I was like, man, I can't see it anywhere, dude. I can't see it. If it was clear, maybe. And I was like, if it was summertime, I might jump out and dive for it. But I'm like, yeah.
Well, good thing you know a guy that has more.
That's what I'm saying. I was like, if there's anything, like, I do know a guy. I also have two others that not in that pattern. That's a big confidence pattern for me. But I do have two other Chad Chads. So I'm like, it's not the worst thing ever. But I'm like, God damn, you got to be shitting
Just saying, Bobby. I think I have a couple Metro glides in that pattern.
Dude, see, that's the thing. That water was like 52 degrees. I probably would have jumped in.
Would have dove right in.
Yeah, I'm like, that's like a fucking $170 bait, something like that.
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah, it's up there, man. So I'm like, this is why I recommend the collab stuff. Like, until you build confidence. And here's the thing that sucks. I was really getting comfortable with working that Chad like in different ways, like actually getting it to do the shit that I want. Cause that's a chop glide and it's meant to like be almost like a jerk bait, like stop on a dime and then just like that. And I was like, God, I'm getting so good at like working this, this could be cool. I had a follow on it with like a school of perch, followed it right back to the boat. I was like, okay, well cause I was seeing that too with that spinner. I was like, this is good. So this is where it gets a little tragic. Not even the Chad being gone. So Paul is just, again, chucking and winding. And I'm in this spot right here. And I'm like, it's gone. In my mind, I'm like pouring a little out for the Chad.
Yep.
And Paul's like, oh shit, fish on. And I was like, holy shit. And he's got a good one, dude. That sniper is fucking double down. Like, he's got a big. This would have been too big for the slot. I'll bet you this fish went every bit at 20, maybe a little bit more.
Oh, shit. Okay.
He lost it at the boat.
Line break or just came unhooked?
Just came unhooked. I had my hand on the net. I was like, dude, you're not going to want to flip that. I'm like,
Smallmouth or largemouth?
Largemouth.
Yeah.
Largemouth.
Fucking Paul.
Yeah. And I was like, God damn it. Oh, man. The other thing that was very interesting, and this is fucking great. So Paul caught a yellow perch. I don't know if it was at that spot or the first spot, but one of them. And he was like, no shit. He's like, oh, I'm catching the bait because he was throwing a perch pattern at that time too. He's like, I'm catching the bait. I was like, no shit. He's like, oh, it's peeing on me. And I was like, bro,
that ain't pee.
Happened to me with a perch last week.
I was like, this is the time of the year. I was like, sometimes you'll get like the females and they'll just have eggs coming right out of them. Yep. You know what I mean? And I was like, and people lose their minds about that. They'll like collect them and shit. Yep. And I'm like, I go, that ain't. So then his wife called while we were having dinner and she's like, so how did it go? He's like,
I made a fish come.
So I was like, okay, that's good for you, dude. Oh, skeet. John Aiken's fucking great, dude. So yeah, very, very, very interesting day, to say the least. So we called it a day, and we decided we were like, because we had to go back over like the Sagamore Bridge, and I'm like, I don't want to go back east to go and have dinner to then drive west all the way home. Plus, and I said, Paul, I'll be honest with you, I love Sean like fucking cooked food. You know what I mean? I love the guy, but I don't want to sit down at dinner and hear from the guy who's caught 500 plus inches of fish how
fucking great his day was.
So he's like, you know what? I don't want that either. And I was like, I go, because again, like let's just go wallow in the sadness. So we got some food, called it a night, got home. Dude, I slept like a baby, and I was so stoked because the next day on Sunday I was going to fish again. No, I wasn't going to fish again. I had to drop the family off at the airport because they were flying down Sunday and I was going to leave Monday morning. Well, Eleanor fucked up my vacation. I mentioned loosely that
I was
had
wondering if
entered
you were going to get
fish.
into this.
Yes. I mentioned earlier, kind of like adjacently, that I had entered some fish this week. Now, I should have been in North Carolina and would have been or South Carolina, been totally out of bounds for this.
Yeah.
But no, Bobby Roast Beef was home the entire weekend. Or the entire week, because I knew it was coming on Saturday. We were actually driving home, and my wife calls, and she's like, "Yeah, I'm on my way to Walgreens." And I was like, "Why are you going to Walgreens? What do you need there?" And she's like, "I'm picking up some Benadryl for Eleanor. She's all broken out in hives." Joe, have you ever seen a dog get hives?
Nope.
It looks like my dogs are Boston Terriers, so they have a very smooth coat. If they break out in hives, they look like Ewoks. Like, it's crazy.
Gotcha.
They get all shaggy and everything.
Yep.
And I was like, what would you give her? Like, I'm like, she's so fucking high maintenance anyway, this dog. Yep. And Holly's like, she's like, I just gave her some pumpkin with her food. You know, she likes to give her pumpkin because she thinks the fibers. I'm like, they don't need it. No. They don't fucking need it. And she's like, this was like a different brand. She's like, I think it was like nice stuff from like Whole Foods. And she's like, you know, maybe that's what it is or whatever. So I was like, we'll keep an eye on her, blah, 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 blah. It'll be all right. I'll bring the Benadryl down with me on the road. She'll be fine. Yeah. Well, we get to Sunday, and it's about an hour before I'm supposed to go, and she's getting worse. And I'm like, all right, look, I go, here's the deal. She's like, I can't cancel anything. She's like, if I do, I'm going to lose it all. She's like, I don't have. And again, keep in mind, listeners of Jigs and Bigs family, you know that this trip was booked on girl math alone. Right. The entire vacation was booked in order to save losing $800 in airline credits. That was the entire purpose of this trip, was to. So she's like, yeah, but everything. I was like, yeah, and I go, you're not going to have to worry about getting a refund because you're going. You're going to go. Yeah. I go, here's what we're going to do. I don't want to drive down there. I was like, because I estimated I was going to probably spend about $900 in gas. Driving there and driving back. Probably about $70 to $80 a tank, you know, per fill up. And I was probably going to do a couple of tanks while I was there anyway, because I would have been the vehicle instead of getting Ubers and stuff. I would have been driving everybody around at night. Yep. So I say to my wife, and it sucks too, because I found actually a reservoir that was 15 minutes away. Because I was looking for alternate places other than Santee Cooper. Right. So I'm like, let's go ahead and do this. Well, I was like, obviously this shit's not going to fucking happen. So I go, we'll see what happens. I go, but if it's possible I'm going to be here, I'm not taking a week off of work to sit on my ass here. I'm like, it ain't happening. So I'm like, I already know 2 of my accounts I'm set up to get paid automatically. And I'm like, I was just going to pay them back out of pocket when I got back because I didn't do trivia that week. And I'm like, you know what? Fuck it. That's 2 out of 3. I called them. I was like, we're going to be on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. I took Thursday and tonight off. This is why we're recording on Sunday night, folks. Yep. Right here is Joe, you had plans on Friday night, and we're like, let's do Sunday night because I'm not working. We'll go ahead and make it happen. So we, I was like, I told Holly, I was like, when you get down there, just schedule an appointment for her. I was like, but don't make it like on Monday, because that's the last thing I want to do is go and spend that money. I was like, let me see how she is for a couple of days, and then I'll pull. If she's okay, I'll just cancel the appointment, and that's exactly what happened. Dude, Monday morning, that dog was fine. She was fine. So I did trivia on 420. And your boy got litty for 420 afterwards. I had a real good time. I had a fun time at trivia too. And then Tuesday and Wednesday were really good. I didn't get out and fish, honestly, because I was just kind of wallowing in my own depression. It's like, this fucking sucks. I had a couple packages come in this week, which was pretty cool. One of them was from Joe Ravenna, who is the owner of Gentleman Club's Jigs, and those are fucking awesome. I'm stoked. They are really awesome. I also had a package come in from Land of Baits, and it was Saturday while I was on the water. I did an unboxing of that, the Gentleman's Jig stuff, and ARC released a brand new bait finesse reel. It's called the Gravity BFS Avid. And this one is designed more specifically for like, this is an extremely light spool. Like it's made to use for like really light PE stuff. And it's, you know, I have a couple of baits that I have to try that are like really tiny, like really, really tiny. Luckily I have that ultralight rod here. Actually, do you still have that Jenko rod, Joe?
I do.
You mind if I tinker with that a little bit? Because that might be moderate enough to be able to, because I'm talking about throwing like trout magnets and shit with this.
Yeah.
Like that might be even lighter than my ultralight. That might do the trick. I might have to
check. I think it's a medium, Bobby.
Oh, is it a medium? No shit.
It's either a medium or medium light.
Huh.
Yeah.
Huh. Is it, and it's moderate?
I believe so, yeah.
Yeah. No shit. Huh. So yeah, it's probably heavier than anything else I'm using. No shit. I don't know. You never know with these things. But so I unboxed all this stuff. So that was cool. Like as far as mail stuff, something else that just showed up today, my Yak Attack Black Pack arrived today.
Okay.
So one of the things that I'm doing is I'm implementing Yak Attack makes, I think, arguably some of the best and most well thought out and engineered fishing accessories, and they are primarily with the kayak angler in mind, 100%. Yep. But they do make some stuff that comes in very handy for boat owners too, like the Sport Track adapters that I use for like rod holders all over the boat. And I actually have to order another one to get my cup holder back up in the front. I miss that. I miss having that there. I've spilled more Diet Cokes and just party foul. Yeah. So I got to have that back up there. So I got the Black Pack, and I'm going to put in all my 3700 size boxes in there. So this will free up some stuff, some storage up front, and it'll basically be like day boxes that stay up there, stuff that I just need immediately, because I'm trying to like really get a little bit more organized on the boat. And this is going to help in a big way. In fact, I even got the sidekick for it. So there's a top storage area, and that's where all of my like finesse stuff, plastics under 3 inches, all the terminal for like bait finesse and all that shit's gonna go up there. And it's got 6 rod holders on it, so I can have 6 additional rods vertical. I learned about this fishing with Binya, because he would bring his with all his gear, and it works out perfect. Having that extra rod storage keeps him out of the way. It's perfect. I was like, okay, so I think this is what we're gonna do. This will make a little bit more sense. So that showed up just today. What else went down next week? So yeah, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, kind of a mess. Thursday, I got out nice and early with Eleanor, and I think Eleanor is not the good luck charm. I think I mentioned this before. I think she is not the good luck charm I built her up to be last year, because I skunked hard on Thursday. It was bad. I fished all over the Connecticut River and could not so much buy a bite. I had a yellow perch come out from a dock and bite my finesse swim bait. Take the tail right off, bitch. I then was fishing a Martin's Custom Baits swim jig. Similar pattern, but I wanted that secondary action, and I was fishing around much more heavy cover, not just docks or anything. So I was throwing this up into the wood and then swimming it back, and I had a pike come up from pretty deep, and like we made eye contact, and he like mouth open for that bait, and he saw me and was like, "Bye, bitch," and just took off. I was like, that was as much action as I managed to get Thursday, which sucked. So then Thursday night, I got off the water, and then I headed over to Hot Brass with Topless Timmy Jakes to test out some snub nose revolvers. So this is pretty slick. I had made some calls around. Remember, we had talked about last year. What the fuck was I talking? No, last episode, not last year. Last episode we talked about, it was basically between the Smith & Wesson 442 or 642 and the Ruger LCR. And I shot both of them. They didn't have the LCR in 38 special. They had the 357, which the 357 I would have loved, but it was just out of my price range. Like I set a number and I'm like, nope, that's what we're going to do. So I shot it with 35 or with 38 special rather. And I like the Smith a little bit better. I thought I was going to like the trigger and the Ruger a little bit more, but I kind of like the staging that you can do with the trigger on the Smith. So on Friday, my plan was to go out and fish again, and my daughter Chloe, she was going to be at the house dog sitting Hudson while we were gone. She was like, since you kind of got hosed for the vacation, why don't you come out with me for lunch on Friday? I'd totally forgotten about this. And she texted me and she was like, we still on for Friday? And I was like, oh, that's right. So I said, here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to push fishing off for Friday, take a day, do my thing. I had some errands to run. I had some production because initially I wanted to get things done for the show Friday night. So I had a bunch of production to get done. All that, nailed that, went out with Chloe, and then I went back over to Guns Inc. And I purchased my my Smith & Wesson there that day. And I got to tell you, I think I was in the store like for 90 minutes. And that includes like waiting for them to like wrap up with somebody else before they came to like handle me. But like even like waiting on all the paper, there is a lot of paperwork, obviously. Mm-hmm. This is Massachusetts. But I was amazed at how quick the turnover was there. Like just truly amazed. So like pretty awesome, man. Pretty freaking cool. So yeah, I got it. I'm stoked. I do want to do some modifying to it. I want to change out this handle. And there is a company, VZ, that makes some pretty cool grips that I can change out for. And I want to do something that's kind of coordinated. I wasn't sure what I was going to do for a holster. So I got this like pleather one with a clip, so I can do inside the waistband if I want, but it'll also do the job as like pocket carry in a pair of jeans. This gun conceals so well. Mm-hmm. I'm really surprised, like really, really, really surprised. So I'm like, all right, cool. We'll go ahead. We'll send it, man. We'll do our thing. They'll axe the channel. This shit's all unlisted. Pat, we're not even monetized. It doesn't matter. This isn't like a real YouTube. It is pretty freaking sweet. I was like, that's badass. So I was done in enough time. I got home, took out the dogs, and I was like, you know what? Fuck it. I'm going to go fish. So I went to a pond that I grew up fishing in Belchertown. And I was like, oh, we'll go ahead. We'll send it there. I only got to fish for 2 hours. Nothing. Absolutely no. But the water was crazy warm up there, dude. Like 64 degrees.
Yeah.
Crazy warm. And I'm like, well, shit, maybe we're going to fool around and find some other shit, figure something out. No bites there. I get in the truck, head home, and I'm going to send it on Saturday. And send it, I did. Saturday was pretty freaking badass. I ended up going to a spot that I've done a couple of the slot limit tournaments there. I have the very first 6-pounder I ever caught was from there. In fact, so this last Saturday, the 25th, was my wife and I's 17th wedding anniversary, which also happens to be the 5-year anniversary of my catching that 6-pounder. So was it something that I was kind of like hoping to like rewrite history? Absolutely fucking not, because I'm not a moron. You know what I mean? I'll let that be a special occurrence in my own mind, but I'm like, no. It's a different day. It's who knows what's going to happen. So I went out. My goal was to fish fast. And I'm just looking to put fish in the boat for this team tournament. I'm going around. I'm throwing again, like I'm throwing a bunch of shit at him. I went everywhere from like a drop. I threw a wacky, like I'm like just on a whim and a prayer, finesse swim baits, rattle traps, bladed jigs, spinner baits. I threw swim jigs. I threw Ned rigs and jigs and tubes. Just basically whatever like the situation called for, I was ready to go. And I had a couple of, I had one good pike actually follow my swim jig out and take a swipe at it. And I was like, okay, we might be onto something. And actually, Sean had called me and I was like, fuck. I'm like, you got to be kidding me. He called me to tell me that Jason Newsted, former bass player from Metallica, is playing an evening of cover gigs at the Iron Horse in Northampton. I don't know if that's awesome or pathetic. I don't know. I could see it going either way, but yeah, it was a mess. So I fished all the way. I caught one chain pickerel over there, decent sized one, but nothing, not a pin winning one. And this was on that swim jig. So I fished the shit out of this. And again, same thing. I was like, I'm going to follow the wind. What are these conditions? What's this all telling me? And I just could not get bit whatsoever, other than that one. Did I have Eleanor with me? I did have Eleanor with me. Again, no good luck whatsoever. But at least I got some fish slime in the boat. I'm like, all right, that's something. So I get off the water. I'm on my way home. My daughter and her girlfriend were going to come over and have Chinese food with me. So I'm like, yeah, we'll just hang out, have dinner. It'll be fun. We did that. Everything's cool. This morning I got up and I sent it, and I was just like, I only have like 4 hours. So I go, I'm not even going to take the dog. I'm just going to go and send it. Dude, I went, and it was like, I know we've talked about it before, but like I'm sort of starting to get a little bit more like better with time management. So instead of like fishing something all day long and being like, I don't know why they didn't bite, I'll give myself like 25 minutes and I'm like, I'm out. So I was doing that, bang, 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 bang. And I covered all these spots. It's like, where the fuck else do I go? And I'm like, well, the wind is so light. I'm just, fuck it, dude. I'm going to take a shot. I'm going to go back in the main river. Now on Thursday, that did nothing for me. Today it worked out. I'm happy to say. I was fishing. I found this. I decided I'd go downriver a little bit, and then just once I found something along the bank that looked kind of juicy, like I found this steep rock bluff where I was just like, I'll just start here, and then I'll just go with the current, and I'm just going to throw my confidence. And the conditions are telling me that like more subtle would have been the move. So I was throwing a finesse swim bait, and I found a bunch of like submerged rock. There's pretty, not crazy deep, but it was off of like a sandy, shallow area, and then just bang, huge boulders and shit. I was like, okay, so we'll pick this apart. I picked that. I figured out that something would be relating to that, and nothing. I go around the side of these boulders back down to get back on course. I just make one cast up like 45-degree angle, up shallow on the bank, swim it back, and about halfway to the boat, it just gets absolutely hammered. And I caught a 16-inch smallie. So there was that. That culled out our smallest fish on our best 5. So now our smallest fish is 16. Our biggest is 17 and a half. Our average is pretty good so far. It'd be nice if we could, get past this 12th place position, but it's pretty close in between there. And we have until, I think, Thursday is the last day of the month. I think Thursday's the last day of April. So shit could happen. Shit could very, very, very well happen. And yeah, then I got off the water and I headed out to take out the dogs, and I just picked up the girls at the airport and then got home with them, and here we are recording the show. It's all good. But there is one other thing I did manage to get done this week, and I know I was like last week I wasn't 100% sure. The tournament placards we talked about at Blue Fox, they're live. You can get them now. So for the online tournaments, for both your catch board or your Yak Attack measuring board, you can order the tournament ID placards for that appropriate board, and they're pretty like reasonably priced. The design actually came together a little bit faster than I had anticipated it to, and it's all set. So links are over at jigsandbigs.com right now. You can go check that out, but I'm also going to put a link for it in the description of the show. So check that out. Trust me, it's going to be absolutely badass. But yeah, man, that is the fishy and not so fishy shit of my week. And then, I don't know if you noticed this, but right when we first kind of got started with the show, my youngest came down, and she apparently got me a pen while she was down in, what do you call it, in South Carolina. And check this out, dude.
Oh, dope.
It's a lure, man. That's pretty badass. I was like, that's pretty slick. I'm like, that's a nice little pen.
So I don't know if I ever told you. I'll have to show them to you. I think I have a picture of it. When we were down at the Classic, we're like looking around, and Emma, she's not into fishing. Like, yeah. I'm still trying, but she's not into it. But she saw it, but she's into, very girly stuff. Dude, she saw this pair of earrings that was BFS, crankbaits converted into earrings. So she has those. She loves them.
Really?
Dude.
That's awesome.
Yeah,
dude.
little BFS crankbaits, dude. They're converted into earrings.
Speaking of BFS crankbaits, I've been throwing around that Griffin, that from Megabass.
Yes.
That is a sweet little crank, dude. That really, really is. I'm like, yeah, this is pretty badass. Mm-hmm. So yeah, dude, that's fucking cool as shit. We have got yammered for over an hour.
Yammered.
We have yammered. Now, you mentioned something before we started recording that you have a headline that you're looking forward to. Are you ready?
Yes.
Let's do it.
Bobby, this one is so good that I had to go through and ensure it wasn't an April Fool's joke.
Okay. I'm here.
Ready?
For it. Yeah. Like you're pro versus whatever content creator. Yeah.
Ready?
Yep.
Fentanyl discovered in Ontario's fish.
What? What are you doing up there, Nick?
Fentanyl, one of the most dangerous synthetic opioids on the planet, is now present in wild fish. A newly published study in the journal Environmental Pollution reveals that fish living downstream of wastewater treatment plants are accumulating a cocktail of human pharmaceuticals, including fentanyl, directly into their bodies. Researchers analyzing Ontario's Grand River system examined water, wastewater effluent, and darters, which are small bottom-dwelling fish commonly used as environmental indicators because they don't tend to move much around a waterway. The results? Fish that could not pass a court-ordered drug test or obtain a commercial driver's license. So let's talk about how this happened. Despite modern treatment processes, a wide range of drugs persist in the environment. Water samples show 19 different compounds, including opioids, stimulants, and antidepressants. Fentanyl itself measured 16.1 nanograms a liter in wastewater effluent and remained present downstream at 0.82 nanograms per liter, which was nearly 5 times higher than upstream levels.
Really?
Other substances like codeine, methadone, and the widely prescribed antidepressant venlafaxine were also consistently detected, illustrating the flow of human-derived chemicals into natural systems. So, before I continue, one of my jobs in the military has been a criminal investigator. Mm-hmm. And I did all the, when people piss hot, essentially, I do the interviews. I do all the, to find out, how this happened, what you did. And I interview and I basically interrogate them. Let me tell you, dude, 16.1 nanograms of fentanyl is a lot.
Yeah.
It's a lot. Yeah, dude, you're pissing hot with that one. So why this could be an international concern. Although this particular study did not examine game fish, others have shown the pressure of pharmaceuticals in larger predators. A 3-year study conducted by Florida International University and Bonefish and Tarpon Trust Foundation Trust found widespread pharmaceutical contamination in bonefish populations across Biscayne Bay and the Florida Keys. Researchers sampled 93 fish and discovered an average of 7 different drugs per fish, with one specimen containing as many as 17. The contaminants included common human medications, such again as antidepressants, antibiotics, pain relievers, and blood pressure drugs. These substances were also detected in prey species like crabs and shrimp, with each containing an average of 11 pharmaceutical contaminants. This indicates a possible spread upward to the bonefish.
Oh, wow.
So, it keeps going. So fentanyl and similar neuroactive drugs are specifically designed to affect brain chemistry, even at low concentrates. They can influence fish behavior and physiology. Previous work by researchers at Sweden's Umeå University has linked such exposure to altered movement, changes in feeding behavior, reduced reproductive success, and disrupted stress responses. In a sentence I'd never thought I'd write, says this person, Atlantic salmon exposed to cocaine swim a lot more than specimens that haven't been.
Yep.
Which seems to make sense. While this scenario may seem improbable, a 2019 study found cocaine, methamphetamine, antidepressants, and others in freshwater shrimp. So this is kind of wild.
It's funny you mentioned that because I saw this story. John Higgins mentions it here. He says that's just like the story that just came out about salmon having cocaine in their system. They said salmon had tested positive for coke. They swam further upstream for spawning run. Imagine that. Cocaine's a hell of a drug.
Okay. So
Cocaine's
I'm confused. Do I eat more fish or do I eat less fish? Like,
and I mean, this can't really be like a surprise. You know what I mean? Because like, number one, like you pass stuff like in your body, like all the time. There's trace elements and like it's going to add up eventually. But like, think about the people who are just like, oh, I'm finished with this medication, and they flush it.
I was just gonna say that.
You know what I mean? It happens all the time.
That's why they tell you not to flush your shit because wastewater treatments aren't designed for that.
Yeah. It's true.
You know, that the particles are so much smaller and they
get filtered right through. They go right out and then boom. Yep. And that's crazy, man, when you think about it. So you catch a fish and it could be like, oh, you ADHD having motherfucker. And you feel zero pain. Well, think about that. Like, because fentanyl at the end of the day, like all the opiates, they're designed to eliminate pain. So do you think they're maybe like, yeah, let's get hooked? Whatever. That could be a craw. But if it's not fucking,
craziest part of this, Bobby.
What's that?
After reading this, that movie Cocaine Bear isn't that as far-fetched anymore.
Not at all. Not at all, man. Chop your salmon into rails, snort them for faster protein transfer. Oh my God. Explains why the bass eat dice. They so high they don't know what the fuck it is. Fair enough. That's accurate.
Yep.
I can't believe it, dude. That is crazy shit. And yeah, that story came out and I was like, oh, no kidding. I guess that kind of makes sense, you know? Then this one, though, like, it totally makes sense how these fish would be jacked up on whatever they're getting.
Bro, so like they did this study like up in Canada by Lake Ontario. What happens if they did it in like fucking West Virginia, bro?
Yeah,
Philly.
That's what I'm saying.
How about Philly?
Philly, yeah. The Delaware River. Oh my God.
Like, please don't do it there because you're going to be like, we're fucking shutting fishing down. We're shutting it down. Yeah,
I mean, you're either that or you're just going to get like John had said, you're going to get a whole different crowd that's into fishing. They're going to be catch and keep everything. They'll be like, I caught a bunch of crappie out here. Go ahead. You can dry these out and then smoke them. Yeah. Oh my God, dude.
Yep. Literally
smoke high for days.
You know?
Yep.
Schuylkill River crabs. Yes. Oh my God. Good thing nobody's flushing Viagra. The first thing I thought of was like, what about all of these like testosterone, like therapy medications and shit like that? Like that shows up and then you get these fucking roid raging fucking fish. Like, like imagine catching those on bait finesse.
Yeah. Kind of like what they do at, I'm not going to get into it, but if you guys get a chance, look into the Chernobyl fish.
Chernobyl?
Over in Ukraine. Chernobyl, the nuclear disaster.
Yeah.
They got some wild, crazy, like mutated fish in around there.
Jeremy Wade fished.
Jeremy Wade did it.
Yeah. And
that guy's like one of my heroes.
They were like attacking like every lure. Like it's wild. That is just crazy shit to even fucking think about.
Did you? I'm just gonna ask this question. We won't get into it because we talked about it a couple of years ago.
Yeah.
Did you end up reading his book?
I know I didn't read his book. I started it.
You got to listen. I listened to it.
And that's what, you know what it is? I need a good fucking road trip to just dive into something like that. I am so way good, dude. Yeah.
It's so good.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to check that out.
I might actually do it again. Like that's how good it is.
That's yeah. I think I got like a chapter in, and I was like, yeah, I'm gonna listen to this in between whatever. And I'm like, I just have so much other shit that I listen to. I need to just dedicate some time and just jump on the road. Or you know what? Next time I fish, maybe I'll do that. Because I do. I listen. I give my Bluetooth speaker a workout, man. I'm always changing up the vibe, but that might be kind of cool. Just Jeremy Wade's soothing voice.
Yeah, like I told you, like I go on hiatus. I'll go on hiatus from podcasts to get back to like books. And that's where I'm at right now. I'm on hiatus from podcasts. So
there's nothing wrong with that. You know what sucks? I am so behind on all my podcasts I normally listen to because I thought I was going to be driving like 32 hours round trip. And I'm like, I'm going to dive into all this stuff. So like I've been holding off on listening to like the whole angler and like all kinds of good shit that I like to check out. And I'm like, we'll give this a listen. We'll save that for the drive. Now I'm like backlogged with like everything. So gonna have to get on that shit. But we do have we've got Binya with a little breakdown of what do you call it? Week number 3 of the team tournament series and some of the slot limit information. Here we go. And that is the wrong video. Let's go ahead.
Wrong video.
That is the wrong shit, Bobby Roast Beef.
Hey everyone, Binya here with a Jigs and Bigs tournament season update. We officially have our first event closed out for the year, the April 2026 Nationwide Slot Series, coming in with 20 total anglers and a new record. So that was a really awesome way to start out the season for the slot. In third place, we had Matt Thayer with 338.25 inches. Coming in second place, we had Stephen Galloway at 341 inches. That was a really close race between second and third, coming right down to the wire on that one. And Sean the Fisherman with a new Jigs and Bigs big bag record, 521.25 inches. So congratulations to Sean and all the winners in the slot series. And now for an update on the Buds monthly series for April. We've had pretty much the same standings throughout the month, but a few new fish have been added, keeping everybody a little bit separated from the rest of the field. We have Klondike Swamp Yankees with 95.75 inches. We have Team Real Problem right on the edge of hitting a century belt with 99.0 inches. We also have Team Geronimo just barely ahead of Real Problem with 99.25 inches. I would not be surprised to see these two teams break 100 in the last 6 days of this event. We have Team Sticky Rice that got a fish in recently, getting them up to 103 inches, and that damn Team Beaver still sitting on top with 106 total inches. This has been a good tournament season so far for Sean the Fisherman, who, as I said earlier, won the slot series. But again, there is 6 days left in this event. There's still plenty of time to get on the water, change up these standings, and close out this event strong, guys. So get out there, catch some fish, and see if you can move up in the ranks. Next week's episode on Jigs and Bigs, guys, you want to listen because we're going to have the final results of the April and the first ever monthly Jigs and Bigs tournament season. So guys, get out there, catch some fish, and let's see how this all lands.
Yeah. So things are happening like everywhere. You guys, just for reference, when he mentions in that video that there's 6 days left, there's less than 6 days as you guys are hearing this on the podcast. Keep that in mind because he produced that on Friday, assuming we were going to be recording Friday and stuff. But yeah, and then Binya says, he goes, I went fishing the day after this was recorded, and Binya stole fifth. He did. He caught a PB Smallie. 20 and a half or 21, something like that, up there, like a great smallmouth. So yeah, that was pretty freaking good stuff. So yeah, we have less than a week to go in this monthly tournament, and May registration for May is wide open, like wide open for everybody. Jump on in. This is going to be going on every single month through our regular season. Our regular season runs April through October. And, next year, the feedback has been so good. I feel confident saying that next year we will have more regions. We're going to change the lines up on Region 1 a little bit. And it's going to be so good. It's going to be so good for everybody. I think you guys are really going to enjoy this. So I'm stoked. I know you guys are stoked. It's just going to be great. Now, let's go ahead. Why don't we take a quick break, Joe? We'll come back. We'll bang out just the tip. And I think we have one FTG. We actually have multiple FTGs this week, but one of them is going to end up in the live well just because it has to kind of be there in order to make sense. So we're going to pepper this episode with FTGs, but we'll take a short break. We'll come right back. Don't go too far, you guys. More jigs and bigs coming up right after this.
And perhaps play a little game called Just the Tip. Just for a second, just to see how it feels. Or, ouch, ouch, you're on my hair.
Okay.
You know it. You know it. It's Just the Tip, guys. Welcome back to Jigs and Friggin' Bigs. All right. I'm just going to say it. I'm just going to put this out there. The Spawn
is a lie.
Or at least everything you think you know about it is. Every single angler right about this time of year, we're talking late April, early May, the fishing world turns into some broken record. The fish are on beds. They're up shallow. Go flip the bank. And yeah, of course, some of them are. But here's the problem. Not all of them are. And the ones that aren't, usually they're the ones that really matter. This is the time of year where anglers can lose their minds. You'll pull up to a lake. Water temps are going to say one thing. The calendar is going to say something else. You know they should be there, so you spend 6 hours beating the bank, throwing at every single stick, every dock, every patch of reeds, and you get nothing. Meanwhile, some dude is offshore or just off of the bank and quietly putting together a bag. Here's the truth. The spawn doesn't happen all at one time. It doesn't follow your calendar. We've talked about that over and over again. And it sure as hell doesn't care about your fishing trip. Bass don't all rush up shallow together like it's Black Friday. You've got pre-spawn fish that are still staging. You've got spawners that are actively on beds. And you've got post-spawn fish that are already leaving. All at the same time. It can be the same lake, same day. All happens together. And here's where guys will often get burned. They trust the calendar more than they do the conditions. You get a couple of warm days, fish will slide up. Then a cold front rolls through. They might back off a little bit. Wind shifts, pressure spikes, water temps dip, boom. Your spawn pattern just disappeared in blink of an eye. Biggest mistake that anglers make right now is they get locked in shallow. They commit to the bank. Guilty. I am. Instead of asking, are the fish actually here or am I just fishing where I think they should be? So what's the tip? Stop fishing the spawn like it's a guarantee and start fishing like it's just a phase, meaning you need options. If the bank bite isn't happening, slide out a little bit to that first break. Check secondary points. Hit docks with a little bit of depth that's nearby. Look for staging areas that are just outside of what would make a good spawning flat. And a lot of times, the better fish, the ones that haven't committed just yet, or the ones that already finished, they're sitting right there. Not really deep, just not where anyone else is casting. And maybe the most important part of all this, or I should say, and maybe the most important part of all of this is don't let the should be mess with your head, because this time of year will absolutely gaslight you. You'll think you're doing everything right, but you're fishing memories, not reality. So yeah, the spawn isn't a lie. But the idea that it's a simple, predictable, and that it's happening exactly where you think, that part is the lie. So this is what I want to know from you guys. Have you been out there recently thinking that they've been on beds and they just weren't? Or maybe you cracked the code somewhere totally different. Hit the hotline, call or text us. Let us know what you're seeing on the water, because right now it's different everywhere. So Joe, tell me I'm wrong here. How many times have you gone out this year alone thinking you were about to go sight fishing and ended up junk fishing your way to a decent day?
Bro, I couldn't have said what you just said any better. It's legit the trap I just talked about. I fell into the trap.
And it happened to me at Oxbow, like painfully so.
Yeah, and what's crazy for me is I'm actually a little bit more comfortable offshore,
Yeah.
Because I'm comfortable at live scope and everything. When it comes to skipping, flipping docks, like, yeah, I could do that shit.
Sure.
You and I had a day last year doing that.
Oh, yeah.
But I absolutely 1000% fell into the trap the other day. I was like, all right, spawn's on. Here's what the temperature was. And, especially up here in New England, and, like talking to Shan Willis, he's kind of dealing with the same shit down in Indiana. Is, yeah, cool. The water temp spiked a bit, but guess what? Now we're more into our our actual seasonal pattern.
Yes.
Our standard seasonal pattern. Yep. Instead of that 90 degrees that like just skyrocketed the water. So, yeah. So like you said, you hit it so perfectly, Bobby. You are going to have some up shallow, but guess what? The ones that move up first are usually the smaller ones, and the bigger ones usually hang back. And that's exactly what you said. With the ones that matter, it's probably still kind of hanging back. So, oh man, you actually like made me even more mad at myself telling me that, because it's exactly the trap that I fell into.
I was writing this as a like a therapy session for myself.
Yeah.
Because I'll tell you, like, so last year, I remember thinking exactly this. I was like, dude, I can't wait to be able to have the ability to splash the boat and fish that flooded timber in Oxford, just anticipating that it was just going to be pay dirt, and I've gone, and every single time that I've gone, they have not been anywhere up there. And I'm like, oh, maybe this area, this is, this looks better today for one reason or another, or the wind is a little bit pushing in this direction or something. Dude, I have yet to catch any bass doing that. And I feel like there I end up in this situation. What's weird is like today I went out where it was 4 degrees colder. Granted, these are different fish. They're primarily stay in the river. They're acclimated differently. They deal with much more current, than in the Oxbow, at least tucked all the way in the back. So I get out there and I caught one that was shallow, but I only had that information to go on, so I was like, I'm going to keep doing what I'm doing, but I'm going to keep an eye on if I see any marks out in this like 13, 14 foot of water that I was kind of like hovering around in some spots. And I found some shit that was shallow. Like, you just got to fucking hit it all.
Right.
It really is. And it is frustrating because like you might get that one fish. Like, that's the thing. Today, this wasn't a pattern. That's 16. That was a fish because I couldn't recreate it. I fished 2 hours after I caught that fish.
Yeah.
I fished 2 additional hours. Like, you got to be kidding me, man.
It was crazy because like where I was down the street from me, like I continued the techniques. I had smashing them the last 2 weeks.
And it's funny. Like I mentioned, going to that little pond on Friday night for just a couple hours. First thing I did when I fished there with Paul a few weeks ago, he caught a nice one, like an 18 plus. And I was like, oh, this would probably be a good area for them to bed up. It gets real shallow here, but there's access to deeper water, like just right over here. Yeah. So the first thing I did, I went and I fished the shit out of that bank. Nothing at all. And I'm like, stupid. I should have, I don't know. Maybe I should have just covered more water until I found life instead of committing to something.
Yeah, it's one of those things where, that's why we're not pros.
Yeah.
Because we are the type of people, and I'm the first one, at least I'm that type of person, and I will admit it, and I've ruined tournaments because of it. sometimes, especially like a 1-day tournament, if I go in with a plan and I go and that plan is completely like just nuked and not going to work, I kind of go into panic mode. I go into panic mode. Like what I anticipated, what I guaranteed myself was going to work isn't. I go into panic mode. And that's kind of what I did. And what I did by panic mode is I just said, I'll just throw more. I'll throw slower instead of like coming back off a little bit like I should have. Checking those secondary points, the drops, especially on the secondary points, fishing a little slower. I guarantee I would have pinned at least one, but
it's so wild too, man, because like, I think back about like that day that I went out with Wild Bill and I took like the night before and I was like, okay, I don't know what the water temps are necessarily, but they're probably in about this window. And I was close, right. But I had gone out and I was like, what looks juicy on this map? And I created a map and I put zones with spots and we stuck to them and we didn't find fish on most of them, but we did find fish on them. And I feel like for my money, I think that is probably like the best planning you could do. Cause like my whole thing has always been be versatile, you know?
Right.
And that's been a struggle, you know, but I look at the versatility more in baits than choosing a location. And I think that's where I might need some work. But our jig heads are chiming in here, man. It's pretty good. Like, Fishing the Stick says, small ones is what I caught, 9 to 15 foot. John Higgins chimes in. He says, the only predictable part of the spawn is the fact that they spawn every year. They don't have a calendar date that they respond to. They respond to conditions that they prefer and not our suggested time. Absolutely. Binya says it's been a weird year. He goes, my bass here in Vermont are just starting to get active, where last year by this time they were all on beds and spawn. It's not a date, but it's more of a mentality for the fish. They get in the mood when they do. And then Pat says the bite was so good last week, and this week they just shut it down with a lingering cold front. It's crazy. Binya, like we were talking just the other day, Mike and I, and he was like, dude, I have been absolutely like struggling. And he put in some good fish this week. He put in some monsters this week. And like, they're just... I don't know, man. Everybody water's different. It's like a different world, you know, like what are they used to? What do they associate to typically, you know, what's the swing been like for the temperatures? Is it enough where they're really going to get finicky, or are they going to go and spawn? And that's the thing too. Like we visibly see the beds up really shallow. There are bass populations that fish where it's too deep. You're not going to be able to see them. Correct. But like the bottom composition is right for them to set up a bed, you know? So it's like, you know, I mean, I know that this is a topic that people have taken deep dives on and everything like that. So, I mean, the information is out there, but I've heard it before that like, you know, there's a population of bass that will spawn deeper than you think that they will. So even you might not see a single bed anywhere in the year, but you could probably rest assured that, there was a spawn sometime.
That's what 360 is great for. That's what I love 360 for, because I could see those deeper beds on there.
Yeah, that's pretty slick, dude.
Yeah,
I gotta make that happen eventually. That's just gotta happen. But we have a couple of FTGs, but we have one that's going to sit in this segment here. You'll hear the other one later. That's the wrong button, Bobby. I am a mess today.
Fuck that guy. Fuck that guy. Fuck that guy. Bobby, and who the fuck is Joe Brown? I don't know if I called this in, but I did have an FTG from the tournament. After I caught the PB, right? You know, people were talking to me, congratulating me and all that, you know. Tell me why there is one old guy. I don't know what it is about old people and me that they just like to just mess with me or hit me with a car or fish next to me and cast literally right next to me to the spot where I literally just caught the PB. Didn't even say nothing. Walked over. Not even a hi. Not even thank you. Just smooth. Walked over. But the other guy that came over with and ran over with the picture and stuff was like, I'm glad that you respected the spots and stuff like that, because that's usually where I fish. I saw you there. I respected it and didn't want to come near you and stuff. And he said, fuck that guy. So, fuck that guy. Tight lines.
I don't know what it is about me and old people. I'm curious, Brandon, how old is old? What would you ballpark some of these folks? Because I know I got a few years on Brandon. I'm beginning to be the old guy. Did he say hit me with a car? Yes, he did, Ben. Yeah, he absolutely did. We should mention that Brandon did put in that fish for his for the slot limit tournament, but that was his PB. That was his personal best largemouth.
Oh yeah. Congrats, buddy.
Badass, dude. Badass, dude. He is making some things happen, dude. Things are going good. What are we talking old, homie? Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I'm starting to resemble that. Somebody said to me the other day, oh, it was when I went to the range. And they're like, oh, here you go, young man, or something like that. Like the guy behind the counter. And I looked at him. I was like,
don't you fucking patronize me like that.
I'm like, I am not a young man. I am a decrepit piece of shit. But yeah. So yeah, I would say fuck that guy too. You know, I mean, old folks are weird, especially when they're hitting you with your car, Brandon. That's not good. That's not good. Fucking A. Let's take a short break. We got a lot in the live well. We got a lot. Buckle up. You might want to grab another beverage for this live well. It's going to be a good one. And we got some talking about Apple Podcasts in the live well. Don't go too far, guys. More Jigs and Bigs goodness coming up right after this.
Hi there. Welcome to the Live Well, where we crack open a ramp beer and attempt to answer all of your burning questions.
It's my favorite thing. It's my favorite part of the show. The live well has grown from being just something that I kind of wanted to experiment with and see how it would work out to now it is my favorite part of the show. And before we jump into this week's live well, Apple Podcast and YouTube, and I'm not sure what other formats out there, but
you guys fucked me. You fucked me good.
Because for whatever reason, when we uploaded the show onto our host, it showed up with no problem, the whole show over on Spotify. And this is like the second or third time where Apple Podcast just had it cut off about 2/3 in or 3/4 in, something like that. So the entire live well segment is missing. There's like 30 minutes that aren't there. And I've inquired about this before, and they assure me that eventually it will refresh and get the whole file up there, but I haven't seen it yet. I haven't seen that happen yet. So it is what it is. Let's move on. We have a call in this. This is the first call. It comes in from Matt. Let's see what Matt has to say. If this is the call I'm thinking it is, I think that this would be a great question.
What's up, Bobby and Joe? It's Matt from Small Ponds, Big Dreams. I had a question for the live well for you guys. So I just got my Dark Horse Tackle monthly subscription box in, and in it, I received the Mad Dasher by Active Catch, which is a square bill crankbait. And unfortunately, I have no confidence in any crankbait at that matter, so I'm calling in for a question. What rod combo would you guys put this on? And also, where would you fish it? I have, no idea at all. Thanks for any tips and tight lines and bent rods.
You said that was a square bill, right?
Correct.
Square bill. See, I think square bills are a little bit more flexible with the combo that you can throw them on. You could probably fish one on a rod that's a little bit too fast. You know, a little bit, ideally I like to go with a rod that's got a little bit more tip. So something that's like more moderate, or I just this year started throwing a glass rod for crankbaits and I love it. I think it's awesome. That square bill though, specifically, I would like, shit, one of my favorite fucking combos to throw a square bill on about that size is my 7-foot medium heavy fast. It's not medium heavy fast, 7-foot medium fast spinning rod. I think it's great because also it's generally a slower reel. You know, what do you think, Joe? What would you recommend?
Man, when it comes to square bills, I don't like go into the whole like glass rod stuff like that. I'm usually just a medium heavy rod. I tend to go a little bit longer, like a 7.3, something like that. With I typically pick a middle of the pack reels speed, so something like a 7.1, 7.31, something like that. And dude, that's all I do with it. That's all. I actually have a cranking rod that I prefer to use my crankbaits on a non-cranking rod.
Yeah.
So yeah, dude. So that's don't overcomplicate it, especially if you're new to them. You know, it's but when you're throwing them, dude, they're made to bounce off cover and stuff.
Yeah.
So timber, shit like that. So bounce it, fish it in and around timber. You know, docks, you know, stuff like that.
Eli says,
just crank, just
depth
throw
up
it
to
and
6
crank
feet.
it, dude. It's easy.
That's I would say like whatever you're more. I think, to be perfectly honest with you, because like you're not really cranking them super deep. You know, you're not running this like 25 feet deep or like digging the bottom, like trying to like, you know, dig a trench like to get bit like that. The only reason why you might want to pay attention to the action of the rod is just simply because it is a treble hook bait. So, you know, like what Joe is saying, like going with a little bit longer of a rod is good for 2 reasons. Primarily, the first one is making those bomb casts, especially like parallel to the bank. You'll get more distance that way. But the other thing is that the longer the rod is, I find that you have like if your power is a little bit lighter, that tip will start to bend a little bit sooner than, you know, a heavier power rod. So you can get away with throwing like a longer, like maybe like a medium fast, you know, something like that, versus like a medium heavy that's maybe gonna take a little bit more heft to get, you know. That's the whole thing though with treble hooks, is just you don't want to rip them out of their face necessarily. Yeah, I would just have fun with that, man. Square bills are a blast. You can fuck around a bunch. What do we got? Yeah, it's not a jig hook set is the biggest thing. That Eli makes a really good point. Yeah, it's all about the sweep. You'll feel that bite and then just kind of sweep into them, and that pressure with those small hooks, they'll trust me, they're going to get multiple points. You'll be good. Joe, did your camera freeze?
Did it?
I think it did. I don't know. My internet could just be a pile of hot garbage. Oh, there you go. You're back.
Yeah, mine's good.
That's weird. Maybe
I was looking over here at one of the other screens. Maybe that was it.
Oh, weird. No, you were like, actually, it's kind of funny because you were looking straight ahead, but like your eyes looked like you were like having a stroke or something was off. It was fucking weird. So, yeah, let's see. We got, who is this other call right here? Oh, you might be familiar with this guy.
Hey, it's Eli with a question for LiveWell. I was sitting here thinking about brands that I think would be like dreams to work with, and kind of sparked an idea of a question. If you would have to pick 5, maybe 10, I think 10 would make the conversation better, but 10, they could be within the industry or they could be non-endemic sponsors that you would want to work with. And obviously, Joe, Fish or Die doesn't count. You're already working with them, doesn't count. Dark Horse, obviously, great company. You're kind of already working with them, doesn't necessarily count. Bobby, there's some other ones that you're working with, like ARC and stuff like that, that I don't necessarily think should be in the conversation, because I want it to be more about ones that you potentially want to work with. whether that be like beef jerky brand. I know you've had Boat Snacks on the podcast, but what are some non-endemic or companies that are in the industry that you would love to work with? I'm curious to see what you guys would say. Go follow me on Instagram at the_Eli_self. Just trying to build that brand. So go follow.
This is the question I was looking forward to. This whole like choosing 10 brands.
Right.
So yeah, we essentially have to eliminate anybody who we're currently working with. Like they're out of the running. Like we're still going to work with them, but the dream ones. How do you feel about it? Do you want a minute to think or?
No, can we do 5 though? I think 10.
5 each?
5 each.
I like that.
That one's easy. All right. Want me to go first?
Let's do this. Yeah, go ahead.
Okay. I mean, we can go 1 for 1.
Yeah. All right. I like that.
Okay.
You go first.
1 for 1, easy money.
Megabass. Yeah, fair enough.
That's an easy one for me.
Toyota.
Oh.
I'm not fucking around.
Yeah. I like that.
What else?
Icon.
I'm gonna just go ahead and throw Lund out there anyway because it was like it was obvious.
For me, it would be Shimano.
Oh, okay. I can get busy with that. I would say another one for me would be Leatherman.
Ooh, that's a good one.
Yep.
And this next one kind of works off that. Bubba.
Oh, Bubba's good. I like that.
Yeah.
Let's see. Non-endemic. What are some brands that I would just love to? Oh, hold on a second. Bait Finesse Empire.
Ooh.
I'm just saying, they kind of have my number.
I like it.
Yeah.
Sims.
All right. I could. Oh, okay. Yeah. You are a Sims guy.
Yeah.
Let's see. What else would I throw in there? Sunline.
Ooh, good one.
Yeah, that would be one. I really like Sunline stuff.
Me too. Well, that's a good one. Okay.
Oh, Eli says any smaller brands?
Yeah. Battle Baits.
Battle Baits. I can get to the Battle Baits put in work this week for me pretty damn good.
I've tried to work with him, but he never answers my calls if you're listening.
Let's see. Smaller brands, like, that's the thing. I'm already working with Pig Jigs. Like, that would probably be the one I would be like, oh, yeah. Let's see. Smaller brands. What's going on that I think is some juice that you guys need to know about? See, I don't have a deal with HH Customs, but I feel like with Dark Horse, that's already kind of included in there. I'm going to say Gentleman's Club Jigs.
Those were nice.
Pretty fucking sweet, man, right? Any rod companies?
Mine would be Megabass. I fucking love them.
Yeah, rod companies, honestly, like I love ARC, but if St. Croix wanted to, like, not this is not smaller, but if St. Croix was just like,
Roast beef, we like what you're doing here.
Yeah,
100%, I'd be in on that. Oh man,
I got a good one.
What do you got?
Keep going. Oh, you're up. Go ahead.
Let me see. Let me think. Smaller, non-endemic. What do I use a lot that's small? And I'm like, this is the juice. This is the juice. Oh, hold on. I'm totally missing the fucking boat here. TreeWorks. My favorite gummies on the planet, man.
Okay.
TreeWorks. Absolutely.
Okay. I like that. G-Crack.
Oh, G-Crack. I like that. I like that a lot. Great Lakes Finesse.
Oh, good one.
Yeah, Great Lakes. I mean, I've dabbled, like I've gone through their site and been like, this looks like juice. This looks like juice. Actually, up at Tits, Thousand Island Tackle Store, they have a lot of Great Lakes Finesse stuff, and I dabbled a lot. I like that a lot. Beast Coast is in their dude wipes. Yes.
Yep.
That's non-endemic, 100%. Yep.
Beast Coast is a good one, but I like at this point I like know them personally, so it's kind of like it's like I can't use that one. Thumb Gel's a good one, but for me, my next one would probably here we go. I'm going back to bigger. Like fuck it.
Yeah.
Under Armour.
Under Armour. I could get. I can meet you there.
Carhartt.
I mean, come on.
I love me some Carhartt.
Right?
Ooh, okay. All right. Good one. Depths.
Oh, Depths. Okay. I like that. I like that. I definitely like that.
Ooh, Kitech's a good one.
Yeah, I know. He goes, how did Bobby not say Kitech? Dude, I'm telling you. In fact, I recorded Hoodlumcast on, what was it, the Thursday night? Yeah, Thursday night I recorded Hoodlumcast. And we were talking about like big box store versus local tackle shop versus like craft tackle versus big name brand stuff, like all that shit. And he goes, well, one of the things I asked this question, and I was also blazed on this show.
Yeah.
And I was just like, I'm telling you, like, what is the short list of things where you're just like, I don't care how big this company is. Like, as much as I want to support small, I use this product. And people were like, I don't think I like the terms, guilty pleasure or anything like that. But Kitech, I was like, yep. What do you want? Come on. You know what I mean? Or I'm sorry, Jimmy will punch me in the face when I see him. K-Tech. Raw Fishing will punch me in the face if I don't say it properly. Let's see. What's another like non-endemic that I'm like, yeah, I'd like to do that. I mean, I kind of have always thought Crown Royal should fucking sponsor Jigs and Bigs. But I felt weird about it.
I can get on with that.
I felt weird about it and here's the reason why. Look, I know like Buffalo Trace would be ideal, Blinton's, like shit like that, like the top shelf, that's fine. But the reason why I say Crown Royal is because number one, it's accessible, like to everybody. And I think everybody can kind of appreciate it. But number two, the flavor game, and that's not my thing, but the flavor game is not terrible. And if we're being completely honest, if you need to store like a bunch of random soft plastics and a handful of terminal, like those little velvet fucking purple bags are kind of perfect for that, really. DJI. Yeah. DJI.
That's a good one.
That's a real good one.
Have we gotten a 10 yet? Has that been 10?
I think we did more than 10. Jackery.
Yeah, we did more than 10.
I'll put Jackery on there.
Turtle Box.
Turtle Box is slick. It is. It is. CR Apple has a mix. Crown Royal Apple with, here's another ties in perfectly. Polar Seltzer.
Ooh.
Wouldn't that be a great Jigs and Bigs fucking sponsor?
Yeah.
When we bought this house, there's a refrigerator in my laundry room, which is like diagonal across from me. And I told my wife, I was like, we're keeping that fridge. And she's like, why? I go, I'm going to plug that sucker in. It's just going to be 1 liter bottles of fucking, like, you know, that ain't nothing but a G thing video where like you see the fridge in the house at the party and it's all 40s. It would just be seltzers. Like that's all it would be. And High Five is another one. High Five makes that drink tincture that I fucking, oh yeah, dude, 100%. Diet Coke would be great. It really would. They don't return my calls though. They don't return my calls. Yeah, I think I knew that this was going to be fun. Like just a wish list. And I knew 100%. Like I almost wanted to say like, yeah, we shouldn't include our boats, but you know, we got, let's be honest here. You know, we got
honestly, dude, I would take any boat company. Like I love my Icon. Yeah. But if Bass Cat's like, we'll give you a free boat, guess what I'm going to do?
I totally understand that. I totally understand. What's your THC drops brand? That's High Five. That's High Five. High Five makes a really good product. I usually have been, they make a lot of variety and like different strengths. And I picked up some 30 milligrammers.
Nice.
One is all you need.
It's good stuff. It's good stuff. Yeah, that was definitely one of them that I thought of. We don't have them in Michigan. Well, we're gonna have to plan another trip to St. Clair. I think I got freaking I got button hooked on this trip here, Todd. So I'm looking to fill that void. But we got there's a call from John Higgins. Live well call from John Higgins. This ought to be a good one.
What's going on, Jason Biggs fam? Bobby, Joe, Jay Hids, everybody. I just wanted to call in a little tip for the live well with the upcoming multi-species tournaments coming with the championship and the open. I just wanted to reach out and basically say, when it comes to these tournaments, think outside of the box. If you're usually mostly an artificial bait fisherman, sometimes you might have to break that mold to find what you're looking for. One of the suggestions I have is throw a tub of night crawlers or some wax worms in your bait bag when you go out. Carry a second rod, rig it up with a simple Carolina rig with maybe a 3 to 5/0 circle hook. And while you're tossing lures for bass or crappie or whatever else you're looking for, throw out a line on the bottom with a Carolina rig with a night crawler. And if you think about it, bass, catfish, carp, all these fish are all predators and they predate on all the other fish. So if you're fishing a flat that holds, bait fish, crappie, perch, rock bass, bluegills, as soon as it starts to get towards dusk, if that area is near deep water, you're going to have catfish and carp slide up in there to feed on the crayfish or whatever's hiding in the rocks in the area. You'll have the catfish come up to feed on any of the perch or bluegills that are in there. Another thing you could do is bring a small Ziploc bag with some garlic powder in it. Put a night crawler on a rod, shake that garlic powder on there, set it out there. You're going to entice carp, channel cats, bullheads, anything else that garlic scent is going to attract into the area. These fish are opportunistic. They're going to snatch whatever they can. Consider the pre-spawn and post-spawn times right now for the panfish. So you're going to find crappie, perch, rock bass, bluegills will tend to shoal close to each other because they all feed in the same areas. And whether they're pre-spawn or post-spawn, they're going to be hungry and they're going to be aggressive and they're going to be feeding together, especially in areas with lots of bait fish and other prey. Another place to look at dams. You can never go wrong, whether it be a low head, a flood control dam, or just a big dam on a river. You're going to get huge congregations of bait fish, and you're going to catch everything from catfish to some species that are not even on the list. You can't go wrong with switching up tactics, whether it be live baits, soft plastics, hard baits, crankbaits. Throw everything you have at them. But one of the biggest things is do your research. Look at the water that you're planning to fish. Know the body of water. See what species are there. How many species are there. And then go a step further. Grab a YouTube channel. Or just go into a simple search in YouTube. Say, for instance, I wanted to catch alligator gar in the Mississippi River. I'm going to go look for a YouTube video that says Mississippi gator gar or something along those lines. Perch in the Connecticut River. Something like that. Something along those lines. And you don't necessarily have to use that as gospel. Just look at the tactics that the people are using and then find a way that you can work it in a similar fashion. But definitely think outside the box and don't be afraid to try new waters. But definitely do your research. That's all I got for that. Highlines.
That is a great call because I have been saying like forever that the multi-species scavenger hunt is not like the hardest thing about it is just knowing the body of water and the species that are in there. Like and he makes a really good point. Like if you already fish mainly, the majority of our audience primarily does fish artificial lures. You know what I mean? And I think it's like the ADD element of it of just like, got to be doing something, got to do something active. But if you do that, you can really clean house. Like I've hung with some real hammers in that tournament, exclusively fishing artificial lures, and I think that he makes a lot of really good points regarding like where to find these species and what they're eating. The thing is like everything that's on that list eats bait fish. And I've said for the past couple of years, like when it comes to the multi-species scavenger hunts, the primary tactic, the only thing that you really have to keep in mind is looking at that body of water, knowing what the population of different species are in that body of water, and then knowing that you need to catch them. And from there, you can take some knowledge, that's online or whatever you got to do and figure it out and then come up with some sort of attack. You don't have to change everything that you're doing, I would do that, thinking like, oh, I'm going to target trout. I have to do something totally, totally different. I have to go and adjust everything. I got to bring specific gear or something like that. Dude, I have caught trout species on so many different lures that they never had any business eating before. But, when you got to go and track them down and then, having a rod, if it's legal for you to do so, throw a rod out that's got a night crawler on it, or a piece of shrimp, something like that, and catch those off species. I don't know. I do appreciate John being such a hammer with the multi-species scavenger hunt and sharing that kind of knowledge. So you guys don't realize he gave you some juice right there. Which is badass. I don't know. Joe, you haven't taken the leap to get into that scavenger hunt, have you?
I haven't.
It's tricky because like I know that there's a lot of folks that they get a little like they get out, they feel like they're outside their element and they're just like,
right.
But like, dude, it's all just fish, Right. It's crazy, man. Yeah. I think I love it. And we're coming up. May is the month. We have an open schedule that's a week long. And then we have the championship, which is the weekend of the 16th. It's a 48-hour window. And right now we have 3 people entered into the championship. Myself, Todd Sefton, and of course, John Higgins. John's probably going to run away with the sucker. But a 48-hour challenge that's like crazy town. Crazy. It's going to be nuts. Mm-hmm. So I'm actually really glad that Cheryl and I have plans that she's game to do some multi-species fishing because I got this spot I'm going to. I think she will really enjoy. It's pretty good. I say it's not a bass spot. I've caught like a couple of, what was it, Chrissy Fishing. I was with her and she caught a PB. It was over 20. And then I caught a 16 there last summer. Big fat 16. I got that sucker on video too. Crazy. Crazy. We're going to go to Jersey for these next couple of calls. We're going to hear from Brandon again.
Yo, Bobby. Who the fuck is Joe Brown? I want to say congrats to all the people that came out on the slot limit tournament. I did a skunk. That's a good thing. And I probably caught my PB. Gotta love this family. Gotta love this family. Tight line.
That is pretty badass, man. You know, it really is. I think we had 20 anglers in there, and I think it was like 17 entered fish. So it was like, that was good. Nice. And the turnout was for the April one was crazy. I couldn't believe the amount of people we got in there. That was absolutely awesome. So very, very cool. And I'm stoked that Brandon caught his PB doing that. Cause like that's the best, you know, and like what a fish to catch. You know, in that setting. So that's freaking badass. Now we have not one. This encapsulates the second FTG, but we got Lil J making a call from Southern New Jersey. Let's see what she's got to say.
What up, Bobby and Joe, and all you jig heads and jiglets out there? It's your girl enthusiast adventurer. I got the opposite of an FTG for you guys. First of all, I want to tell both of you and everybody else who was involved in the slot limit tournament that you guys threw a very great, good, incredible event. Yep, I don't know how to use my words. And I had a lot of fun fishing the slot limit tournament for April with my brother. I put up 163, I think, inches, 12 submissions. Not too bad for a Jersey girl. But I wanted to give a shout out to the two older gentlemen who own properties on the water, and to our surprise, came out to me and my brother as we were fishing on their docks. And instead of running us away and pulling the old Karen, I'm going to call the cops, get off of here, you can't fish here, this is my property, these two gentlemen were absolutely lovely fellas. We had nice conversations with them all about fishing, kayak fishing, boating, stripers, largemouth, all of that good stuff. They gave us some information about the lake, what happened last year, where people were catching them this year, and it was just an all-around great conversation. It was one of those moments where we were like, oh, crap, here comes the owner. Is this going to be a bad experience? And it turned out to be an absolutely great little conversation, a good little moment on the water where a couple of outdoor buddies just kind of talked and connected and then moved on with our days. So gotta remember that there is some good in the world aside from, you know, the obvious douchebags out there, men and women alike. But these two gentlemen were really nice. So I had a lot of fun doing the slot limit tournament this April. It was really great having the boat just to like me and my brother instead of fishing on the old kayak. Not that I'm giving kayak fishing up, but being on the boat was nice. And I'll let you guys know how I'm doing for the rest of the year. Got some big snakeheads in my sights. So, yeah, tight lines, everybody, and I'll talk to you guys next time.
I love hearing shit like that. You know, not only
I agree.
Like, oh yeah, it was a great tournament. You know, everybody had a good time. That's ultimately that's what it's all about. I love though hearing when like you have an interaction with somebody that owns property abutting a body of public body of water that you have access to, and they're not losing their minds. Because I get it. Like we hear that shit all the time because that's what. Makes people comment, you know what I mean? And they have an opinion on it. But this shit is like the best when it's something like that. I do think it's funny how, like, I don't understand why people do this, Joe. And maybe it's just me, but like, you notice that, like she mentioned, it was really nice being on the boat, fishing with her brother and blah, 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 but had to say,
I'm not giving up the kayak.
Why on earth do people think that way? That like, I'm going to abandon such and such.
I feel like I've heard that before. I'm just kidding.
Yeah.
I was talking about you, Bobby.
Talking about. Well, I mean, primarily, yeah, I have to do some fucking work with my kayak. I got to replace it. I got to replace the prop. Is what I got to do. But yeah, I do. I think it's those stories that, like, if you have that kind of experience, you should 100% fucking Like, talk about it. Post something about it on social media. Like, hey, instead of everybody looking at the Karens that are freaking out about docks or whatever, you see that video of that woman that jumped in the water?
Yes.
That's what I'm saying. Like, I get, like, the entertainment factor is there, but, like, if you put it out there that, like, hey, not everybody's like this. Some people are actually really cool. You might be able to shame some of the people that are losing their minds. Like, wow, this dude could be cool. You're a piece of shit. But this takes a bit of a turn. So this is Lil J Part 2.
Fuck that guy! Well, actually, it was two guys. You know, what's up, everybody? You already know who the fuck it is. I don't have to explain myself. I literally called in to be like, oh, you know, when you have those Karens and you fucking run into them and you hate those guys and they suck, and then you have this like surprise engagement with somebody who owns property and you're fishing and you have a great conversation, blah, 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 blah. Fuck the two dudes that were at the boat ramp tonight that just stood there for 35 fucking minutes and talked about fishing. Buddy with his nitro and his two fucking 11-inch screens, and then some other dude with a GoPro strapped to his chest in a fucking old-ass John boat. Actually, it was a V-bottom. It was some old, ruddy piece of shit. And all I wanted to do was sit down and talk about fishing, which is so nice and so exciting. But guess what, motherfuckers? You have a line of people waiting to use the boat ramp. Okay? Get the fuck out of the way, bitches. I'm gonna have stickers made, and I am going to light every motherfucker's ass up who's a douchebag at the boat ramp. But I just want you all to know that I did get some sweet, sweet revenge, and I took 20 minutes to load my kayak while Buddy over here waited with his fucking big Toyota Tundra and his fucking giant fucking trailer while he waited with his own nitro. Fuck those guys. Okay? Get on the boat ramp, get your boat in or out, and move your vehicles out of the fucking way. You want to make a friend? That's fine. Get the buddy's number. Cool. Move your fucking cars and your boats out of the goddamn way. Fuck that guy. Love you guys.
All right.
It's funny how it just all kind of fucking unfolded right there.
Just turned.
The yin, the yang.
The yin, the yang.
It's funny because just today, and I'm going to show you, Joe, the picture here. I had a situation like this, like where I'm at Oxbow, and I said to these dudes that were in line behind me to load up their boat. I was like, it's time for them to put the fucking dock in. Like, it's time. The water is low enough now where, like, it's kind of a bitch to pull up. You know what I'm saying? And I got to the ramp, and this moron was there with his canoe. Right. And, just
nice
guys being dudes. I took a nice wide shot of it, too, so you could see all the space he was taking up. He was there for 10 fucking minutes on the launch, organizing his stuff and figuring out what he was going to do. Like, dude, load up, splash, whatever you got to do and move it along. You know, it blows my mind when I see people that are out there at the launch and, they're rigging up right on the ramp. You know what I mean? Like, just splash it and go, fucking load it up and get the fuck out of there and then pack up all your shit otherwise. Because otherwise, Bobby Roast Beef is coming out blasting. You know what I'm saying? It's gonna be
Jesus Christ.
I had to for you. You made the Frank Reynolds reference. I was like, dude.
I'm gonna come up with some kind of meme or Frank Reynolds meme with Bobby's
I'm
face.
coming out blasting.
Oh God.
It's so stupid. It's so stupid. Binia, actually, this is a really, really good point. He goes, I walk up and ask if there's anything that I can help with. That is often very, very helpful. And that's a great plan if you can think that way. Usually I am fuming at that point. I'm like, it's better if I just don't talk to them. Sometimes if it's like an absolute noob and they're doing something, I'll stand up on the fishing platform on the casting platform up at the front of my boat and just clap. like that. I'm that dick, you know?
Yeah.
It all depends. Like, you know, so like,
and then there was a firefight. Boondock Saints, come on.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Oh my God. Yeah, that's a good idea. It says, John Higgins says, no circle jerking at the boat ramp. Fuck sticks. Fuck sticks. Yes. All right. So, you know, it's just, it wouldn't be the live well if we didn't have another call from Eli.
Hey, it's Eli with a question for the live well. I know that it is always said match the hatch, match the hatch, match the hatch. What is your process for figuring out forage? Is it something that, like, you just Google? Is it something that you're going around, driving around on a lake looking for? Or you just kind of find it as you're fishing? Because especially for, like, ponds and smaller bodies of water where that don't have necessarily information online about it, I've been able to do it a little bit just, like, by looking, but that's not always the best because sometimes not finding bait fish or just don't necessarily know what they are. So what is your process for figuring that out?
So the short answer is yes. All of those things.
I like that.
I would say, Eli, like, so number one, any public body of water should have some resources, like especially if it's managed at all by the state or municipality or whatever it is, they should have some information. Going online is 100% like the best way to know before you get there what's going on, you know? I would say you could also look in advance at even like fish brain, I would say, because you can look at some of the catches that are in there and get an idea, you know, but use your head. Know that people put fucking species that aren't on North America at all on there.
Right.
And like, so like if you're like, oh yeah, there's this one really rare darter that you only see in like Tanzania. So, but they're here in Ohio somehow. Probably not the situation. Somebody was probably either misinformed or something. But like if you see a bunch of like perch catches, you know what I mean? Like you can figure that out. And then, you know, you're going to learn things along the way. You know, you'll catch a fish that might spit up some bait and you're like, oh, there's a shad population. Or, oh, he had this big bluegill in his throat, blah, 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 blah. You will never, ever hear me argue against match the hatch. And here's my reason, my reason why I think that. If you match the hatch, regardless of what the water looks like, the visibility, the color, any of these other issues that could variables that could mix up the water composition, if you match what they're eating, that's the way they would see that in that environment. So then it becomes an issue of like adding some flash or adding some vibration, sound, rattles, something like that to figure out. One other resource as far as looking up different, you know, forage that's in a body of water. If you can't find information about such and such, just ask other anglers, you know, that fish there. And this is actually really great for if you have access to a private body of water and there's nothing, because that's when you're going to run into, I would assume, the most situations where you might not get good quality info. You can look and just talk to other anglers and say like, hey, what's in there for bait? What are they eating? You know, are there any craws in there? Are there crappie? You know, and you can get some information ahead of time there. People will share that shit a lot of the time and tell you what's going on. They'll share that information before they might necessarily share like information about like what they're throwing, something like that. Because, you know, you still have to figure out, you know, just because you know the forage, like that's only one piece of the puzzle. John Hagens chimes in and he says, sight, look at your surroundings. Creeks and ponds with bank overgrowth means bugs. Large bodies of water equals shad, shiner, suckers. Rocks equals crayfish, hellgrammites, nymphs. You know, pay attention, to the details. Like again, any information while you're on that body of water is excellent. But if you can roll up to that body of water and you're like, okay, so this is what's in here. I know that there's golden shine. Like up here, we'll see a lot of golden shiners. We'll see a lot of perch are a huge forage. We'll see a lot of bluegills, obviously. And you'll also have these other minnow species too. So like throwing like white and silver is never a bad thing. Where you might want to get like really kind of nitpicky is like if there's a rainbow trout stocking program and this place gets stocked, those fish are seeing like those 12-inch rainbows a few times a year, you know, something like that. Benny chimes in and he goes, either Joe's focused or on not pooping his pants or he froze again. Could be either. Could be either.
Yeah, I was typing something. I'm multitasking tonight because I had to. I had forgot to send an email and I just thought of it, so I sent it while we were listening.
No, that's good. That's the SBD face he's squeezing. Oh man, sandbar bullies right there. Booyah. What do you think, Joe? Are there any other like things that Eli should pay attention to?
So here it is, Eli. Like you hit it on the head in the end. The whites, the silvers, the like, you know, those bluegill patterns. If you don't know the hatch at that particular time or that particular body of water, chances are you're gonna be able to match it pretty good just by matching something pretty well just by throwing natural colors. They're gonna always be hitting bluegill. They're always as long as they have it. Perch, like us, like I was gonna say it, dude. Perch, bluegill, and the golden shiner.
Yeah.
You know, for us, a couple places have alewives, but they're real small.
Yep.
And if you go down to the Cape, there is some herring.
You'll get some herring.
But yeah, so it's pretty easy for us. But you know, it's the gizzard shad, the threadfin. It all depends where you are. I mean, but guess what? They don't discriminate.
Yeah.
So if you got it close, you'll be fine.
And it's so funny too. Like you can throw, you know, so much with green pumpkin and white.
Yep.
You can cover so much with just those two colors. You know, it's like it's true. Yeah, man, that's a beaut. I think we're on our last one. This is another John Hagens. This is good. This is really good. He told me about this in advance. This is an interesting call.
Bobby, Joe, Jigheads, John Hagens again with a kind of a crazy question for the live well. This might rub some people the wrong way, but it's a genuine question. Are bass fishermen the golfers of the fishing world? The reason I ask is if you look at golfers, they carry around a bag of clubs. You got your irons, you got your wedges, you got your putters, you know, you got your sand, you know, different kinds of wedges. Your pitch wedge, your sand wedge, your 5-iron, your 9-iron. And then you have, you know, all these, they carry, bass fishermen carry all these different rods for all these different series of different ways of fishing, whether it be, you know, pitching lures or flipping or, you know, all the different types of lures and basically styles of fishing for bass. Are they actually the golfers of the fishing world is why I ask. Because a lot of times, just bass fishermen I know, they won't deviate from bass fishing. And when they do try for other species, they have a million questions or they're unsure. And my thing is that what's keeping some of the people from signing up for these multi-species tournaments? I don't know. I'm just trying to maybe dig up a little more competition for these tournaments, because it seems like everybody signs up for the bass tournaments, but nobody wants to sign up for the multi-species. So it's just a little dig, little gas, just to maybe spark a little competition. But but at the end of the day, is this true? Are bass fishermen the golfers of the fishing world? And I know we've talked about trout fishermen and fly fishermen being in their own niche, but are they golfers? I don't think so, because they're kind of, to me, they have you have a fly rod, and you have your flies, you have your different flies. Where bass fishermen, they've got a rod and reel combo for everything. They've got a fishing strategy or type of lure for everything. Just, I don't know. What do you guys think?
That's, I love the calling out, like, for the discrepancy of the turnout for the bass tournaments versus the multi-species scavenger hunt. I think, I'll be honest with you, I think for a lot of folks, like, the multi-species scavenger hunt, when it was a month long, seemed daunting. Because I think for a lot of people, they were just like, oh, yeah, I just have to go and throw my bycatch in there. But there are folks out there who genuinely just multi-species fish constantly. So if they fish 4 days a week, or twice a week, they might be targeting totally different species in there. And they're just, that's more their wheelhouse. I think with the bass tournaments, I feel like it's in a little ways, I feel like it's a little bit more, I guess, like, there's more like open arms for that. Like, it's familiar. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Because I don't think he's wrong. There is that school of thought where bass anglers will have like a combo for everything. Like, and that golf bag equation is not like the worst idea. Like, you've got different shit for different stuff. Mm-hmm. And even like when you're like me, where I don't like to have like, well, this is my specific rod for this. I like to have everything have like multiple uses and kind of a spectrum, but as I dabble a little bit more into like include bait finesse and everything, I'm seeing that like I have a lot of gear, and it's like, even though it is built to be a spectrum, it's still a lot, What do you think, Joe?
You ready? You want to see John's face get red?
Yeah, go ahead. I know what you're going to say. You say something about catfishermen. I know it.
Artificial baits take a lot more finesse and technique than live bait or dead bait.
Well, I mean, you're not wrong. Like, you have to impart some type of an action.
No, that wasn't a shot. So yeah, it just, I think a lot of it has to do with the artificial aspect of it. Like, obviously bass fishing, bass fishing comes a lot of, a lot of artificial baits with different lures, different techniques that take, like, I don't argue with them. Yeah. We're the golfers of the, it is what it is. Like, if I was throwing live bait, if I was throwing fucking shiners or something, yeah, I would have probably 2 rods, dude.
Yeah, because that's the thing. It's like, you don't have to impart the action. Like, yeah, you're not wrong with that.
Yeah, and so yeah, it's like what? No, I get it. I was just fucking with John there, but yeah, no, it's. I think I'm just talking about the the golf thing. Yeah, I think it's just not even a stereotype. I just think it's the culture. It's just the culture of bass fishing.
I agree.
Each species has their group of people, and each group of people has their own, specific, techniques and whatever. Like a lot of catfishing, a lot of people catfishing are sitting on the bank, like throwing fucking slop and chicken thighs. You know what I mean? Whereas like your carp fishermen have totally different techniques and culture. Your trout fishermen, totally different techniques or culture. Not so much a fly fisherman, but then you have the trollers. You have, you have the steelhead, the salmon. You have
the stock truck followers,
the muskie, the pike guys. Everyone just everyone just has their own culture around the specific species. And, not a lot of people can see themselves and be like, oh, I'm a multi-species angler. Like, most people, you could say it, but most people lean more towards a certain subcategory. Like John Higgins admits he's a cat fisherman.
Yeah.
I admit I'm a fucking bass fisherman, but guess what? I like hitting the crappie every once in a while. I like, I'm not going to be sad if I hook onto a nice trout, pike, or whatever.
Yeah.
I had a blast down fishing barracuda in Key West, but I'm, at heart, I'm a bass fisherman.
I will say that, like, I feel like really at the end of the day, if you were to zoom out and look at like, okay, so what does everybody do? And they might have like areas where they primarily are comfortable, but really at the end of the day, most anglers are multi-species anglers. It's just not sexy to say that. Yep. You know what I mean? Yep. I don't necessarily think that it's sexy to be like, oh,
a bass fish.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I don't think it's sexy in the grand scheme of things to like call yourself like any specific niche or whatever, but it's just a way that folks can identify that they have a common interest. Like I love that that Todd fishing in the stick says 90% of the multi-species fishing is on artificial baits for him. I'm the same way. It's probably even a little bit more. There's only been a couple of times where I have brought out other bait, to try to specifically target stuff. And every time that I've brought it out, I didn't catch anything on it that it didn't help me in the tournaments. Like any fish that I've ever entered has been caught using like artificial stuff. But that's the beauty of it. Like, you can take this shit and do what you want with it. You know what I mean? Yeah. Like you totally can, whatever it is. I will tell you that, like the carp fishing specifically, like you talk about a culture, like carp fishing is to the point where like you're buying these fancy rack systems to keep multiple rods that will have a line in the water for hours at a time and alarms because you will be doing something else when total chaos happens.
Right.
But if you want to catch a 50-pound fish,
Yep.
Like and it's interesting, like around here where we are in where I am specifically in Western Massachusetts, like our catfish population up here is not impressive. Like I think like if you get into like something like 10 or 12 pounds, like a channel, because it's really all we have up here, it's a giant. But like you don't see pictures of people in Western Massachusetts with like, here I am holding a 65-pound fucking flathead. Right. We don't have those or the blues.
Yep.
But you can see somebody holding a 50-pound carp out of the river, and that's a whole different kind of rush.
Or a sturgeon if you're not a bitch.
Sturgeon, yeah. I'm telling you, man, I think the day's going to come where we're going to see that protection loosen up. I know in some states you can fish for them, but it's just, I just like big fish. You know what I mean? Yep. I caught that big snakehead and I was like, okay, I want to do this more. Yeah. 100%. It's just like, that's what it's all about. But I don't know. How do we make multi-species fishing sexy? I don't think I'm the guy to do it, guys. I'm a sub 300-pound white bearded degenerate fuck. Yeah, I'm not the guy that's going to make fucking multi-species fishing sexy. We need a multi-species sex symbol. I don't know. It's fucking crazy. It's fucking crazy, kid. I remember talking with Todd Grubb about carp fishing specifically. And I was like, dude, why? Like, I've heard you in some videos, like talking about how like, I'm kind of over bass fishing, blah, 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 blah. It's like, I've reached a certain point and I get it. Like what he's talking about. Cause he's caught a giant tuna. Like, and he's like, it's some of the fishing this guy has done is just insane. And I was like, but of all things, carp. And I was like, for real? And he's like, dude, I like to fucking party. I like to fucking have fun. And he's like, and that is carp fishing. Except once you get a fish on, he's like, yeah, if you want to catch a 40, 50, 60-pound fish and experience that out of a small pond, you can catch those with carp. And I'm like, that's fucking wild, man.
Yep.
Let's crack open another bottle of bourbon. Oh, man. I hope he's doing well.
Yeah.
I hope he's doing. I haven't heard from him forever, but I hope he's doing well. Yeah. What a fucking show. What a show. It was a great show. You guys turned out in the live well. Out in the live well. Thank you guys for coming out and enjoying the show with us. We have some dates for May that are really, really kind of important here. Primarily, you got to know that the registration for the May scavenger hunt, the registration for the May team tournament is open. So if you want to jump in on the Buds tournament series, you can do so. Go over to Fishing Chaos. Go over to Jigs and Bigs, in fact, and there's Jigs and Bigs online tournaments. You can just tap that link right there. It brings you to our page where you click the tournaments tab. You can scroll through every single one that is open and available. So we've got, let's go up and see. So like I said, the May tournament duo series is up. The Buds series, you can go ahead and join that. We also have a date for the slot limit tournament. The slot for May is May 9th, and that's a Saturday. It runs 8 a.m. to 4 p.m. Eastern time, so that is 5 a.m. to 1 p.m. for the West Coast. This one's nationwide. Jump in it. 12 to 17-inch fish are the only ones that count. You catch them all within that window. Boom. It's a whole lot of fun. We have ourselves a really, really good time with that one. And then we get into the Scavenger Hunt Open, because May is a big month for the tournament series. Scavenger Hunt Open starts on May 11th, and it runs all the way to the 17th. So that is a 7-day window that is open. There's nobody entered in that one right now. It's a 7-day, basically, can you catch as many of these species on the list as possible? And, there's 20-something on there. Nobody's ever gotten close to that. Like, I think usually it's like 13 to 15, something like that is somebody can take it in that. But making it a week is awesome. And to John's credit, he's trying to drum up some competition for this. Once you enter an open, you qualify for the championship. So all you have to do is be in there to do it. And, we'll go over the championship in just a moment. As far as the Scavenger Hunt Open goes, just jump on in it. Give it a shot. It's 1 week of your time. And, it's 20-some species that are on there. You get a point for each one that you knock off. It's a whole lot of fun. And all these are catch, photo, release style, I should mention. And then the Scavenger Hunt Championship, that is going on the weekend of May 15th. So the 15th through the 17th, that is a 48-hour championship. And we've got 3 anglers on there. I think I mentioned already. We got myself, John Hagens, and Todd Sefton. So we've all done an open before. I don't know. I might enter the open just for shits and giggles. Just to be in it and use that opportunity as to figure out patterns at different bodies of water and shit like that. Like my goal, I'm going to be starting in your part of the state, Joe, for the championship, and I'm going to work myself west. Yep. I'm going to marry a couple along the way, and it's going to be an adventure. It's going to be an adventure. John says you can double dip in the open and the championship. Absolutely. 100%. You can double dip. You got fish all that week. All those fish you catch that week are able to be entered in there. All the fish that you catch on the 48-hour window for the championship are able to be entered into either one. So if you land into some stuff, it takes the pressure off if you're in both of them. Just do well on the other one on the championship. You'll be good to go. But Todd says I didn't get in because nobody was in there. I have Friday, Saturday, and Sunday off. Hell yeah, baby. Hell yeah. I don't have Saturday off. Not anymore. It's going to be wild. Joe, you got anything you want to wrap this sucker up with?
No, man, that's it. Great show. Now I'm going to be going to bed because I got work in the morning.
Yeah, that's rough, dude. These Sunday night shows are fucking something. We will be back with more Jigs and Bigs in 7 days, guys. Thank you for being such amazing supporters of the show. Whether you're listening to the show on one of our podcast platforms, you follow us on social media, you're a jig head, and you're here for the live stuff as well. Thank you so much. Tomorrow morning, I am going to be going live on Patreon. We're going to talk all kinds of good stuff, so you guys aren't going to want to miss that. It's going to be so good. More Jigs and Bigs coming up down the road, and I've got some interviews on tap, too. 2026 is going to be nuts. We'll see you guys in a bit, like we always say.
Tits and ass, smoke some grass.